Good job today, man. One at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say. On three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Mr. Primetime.
It's 10 years. Cheers.
10 years, which is absolutely ridiculous. So now is it 10 years from the day we launched the channel?
I think that was when you created the Gmail, or at least that's when the YouTube channel got created. So like if you go on our page and you go to the account, it shows that the YouTube channel was created on February 15th. I think the first blog talk shows maybe were like a week or two before that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 10 freaking. But when did we start like putting like videos up? Probably like what, 5 years ago?
I mean, that was during COVID, I think, when we really started hammering away at like the live streams and things like that. I know we would post the audio from Blog Talk, I think maybe for a year or so before that.
So thank you guys for all joining us. Thank you for everybody joining us today. Earlier today, Ian and I did a stream at noon because our schedules have been crazy. So we appreciate, but it would not be me to talk Jets until we talk about the elephant in the room.
Where? I don't see it.
So
what are you talking about?
Here I am trying to enjoy my soggy Sunday. And I'm like, oh, Primetime made a video. And I'm like, hell yeah, man. I was all proud. I'm like, does it have to do with Aaron Rodgers? Does it have to do with the quarterback? It has happy 10 years. I'm like, well, you know what? Let's see this what video is all about, because we here, like, I like to inspect the videos and see what the content is out there. And first of all, thank you for the very kind words. It was very nice of you to say those kind words. No need for you to lie to all our subscribers, but that's fine.
Oh, of course.
Then as I watched this, I'm like, wait a minute. Primetime got into a bar fight because it was like, did he go? Now, the way I pieced it together was, you know, you were even dating somebody. Maybe there was like another guy involved. It was like this sex triangle or some kind of like something happened. And maybe she was married and didn't tell you. And the husband came out of the woods and tried to attack you. Then there was a street fight. I had all these grand illusions. And then as the story played out, you fell on ice. Now, the ice clearly won because you have marks on your face.
The ice whooped my ass, buddy. I'll show you my elbow. My knee looks even worse. My ankle, which I can't put any pressure on my toes still. So, yeah, the ice definitely won. I was not in a bar fight, though. I think my face would look a lot worse if I actually got punched. These are just kind of like scrapes because I hit hard snow on the way down. So, yeah. So
now, was there alcohol involved at all? Please say there was. If you fell without drinking alcohol, then I'm just disgusted.
So I got to be like, I wasn't a sloppy drunk. Like, I'm not. That's not me. I don't get hammered like that. I think you saw the one time in my life that I was that way. We went to North Carolina. That was the one time I think I ever got like that in my life. So I had a couple drinks, but it wasn't to the extent where I couldn't walk home. But you also know what that walk home, you know, from the Morristown bars to my apartment is. It's over a mile. And literally the entire way was just strips of ice. And I'm always a speed walker, especially when it's cold. And that was just a terrible idea.
So you fell forward, I assume.
Yeah.
So now did you make it home or did you go to hospital after that? You had to be bleeding all over the place.
I was bleeding a little bit, but I made it home successfully, bandaged myself up and went to bed.
So, yeah. And initially people blame me. I'm like, no, this isn't me at all. I was shocked as everybody else was. And I'm like, ice? I'm like, there has to be more to this story. There has to be like an angry ex somewhere or a husband or something. There's got to be. I'm going to have detectives look into this now. We have to have our Let's Talk Jets community rally around this, and I get the whole true story out of here.
The comment section were hysterical. If you want to see some like interesting takes on what could have happened, go to the comments. Like Woody Johnson had me held up. He got me like, dude. I needed the laughs though. Like, thank you for all the comments that you guys were making on that. I appreciate it, and all the well wishes too.
Yeah, I mean, this is very true. How can we not be prepared for the ice? We are a cold weather YouTube channel.
I deal with it every morning too. I'm so used to that walk and so familiar with it that I think I just take it for granted. Like, oh, I'm always walking on ice. I'll be fine. And no, not that.
Now, is there any witnesses to the fall?
Unfortunately, I walked back by myself, so no, nobody
Come
saw
on,
it.
man.
I'm sure there's video somewhere, like outside of like the place that it happened. But yeah,
There's got to be there's got to be like some cameras somewhere that have this on film. We gotta research this.
please don't do that, Armand.
Yep, that's what I'm on. There's more to the story here.
I fell on ice first off, and then my ankle twisted on the way down. And then as I was I think I tried to like brace my fall with my hand because like the inside of my palm's a little bruised too. And that's where I went like face first into the snow, which was like kind of ice also.
Can you sue somebody for the ice? Was it in front of a building?
No, it wasn't.
Come on, bro. I mean, listen, if you're gonna fall and break your ass, do it in front of like a restaurant.
I know.
Like, oh, they didn't put salt down. I mean, I could say, I mean, there is something to this too, because over the last 3 weeks, you've been overbearing and kind of negative about the whole Rodgers thing and Rodgers being released, which was the smart move, but you were very angry about that. Maybe the Jets were like, they banned us from their facility. We lost credentials.
Yep, that's
Maybe
true.
you're tired of your negative energy, dude.
They could have set me up for the fall. I mean, it's certainly possible. My apartment's like 4 miles from the practice facility. So they could have, did the Kevin McAllister thing, just, watering up all the sidewalks, trying to get me. It's definitely possible.
Maybe you can sue the city.
No, I wouldn't do that. If my injuries were worse, maybe, but I'm grateful that it wasn't worse because I hit my head also. Like, luckily it didn't crack open or I don't need any stitches or anything. So
your foot's in a boot?
Yeah.
Like a walking boot?
Yes.
How the hell are you gonna walk to work? How you walk to the train station?
Haven't figured that out. I tried to do the walk today. I can do it, but it takes me like a half hour. So I don't know if that's smart. I don't want to like pay for Ubers every day because I'm already paying like $450 a month for transit. So I'm not trying to like
get a little scooter, like a little push scooter, like a scooter. Like
where am I going to leave it? I'm going to take it to work with me. Take it on the train.
You bring it on the train with you.
You carry around a scooter all day.
It's better than struggling with the walk. I mean, what else are you going to do? Get a little wagon, like a little wagon or something.
I think I can make it with the walk. It's a lot easier with the boot because it's like supporting the areas that got screwed up a little bit.
Can you put wheels on it? Put little wheels on your boot and you can roll yourself.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All the ice out there. Yeah. And take out the other ankle too.
We're trying to find solutions for you, man. Like we're trying to make you more mobile. You're booted up. You're bruised up and booted up.
I had to take it off right now though. I needed to let it breathe. Felt like my foot was falling asleep.
I can hear V-Men saying if PT was in Puerto Rico, this wouldn't have happened.
that is facts. It definitely would not have happened in Puerto Rico.
So how long is the boot on for?
I'm going to keep it on for a week, at least when I have to walk, and then see what I could do after that. I don't think anything's broken or like torn, but it was
Did you go to a doctor and get x-rays?
Well, I don't have insurance right now. So
even if
even if something was broken or torn, I don't want to fucking know that because I'm not going to be able to pay for.
So how'd you get the boot? Would you go to urgent care?
I just ordered one online.
Oh my God.
What else am I going to do?
Beth, I'm with you. Beth, I'm 1,000% with you. There's so many holes in this story. Now you're ordering boots off fucking. Would you get Amazon?
What else was that? Yeah, actually, yeah, that's where. Like, what else was I going to do though? Like, pay $200 for an X-ray? And if it didn't show anything, then that was a waste of $200. If it did show something, I can't have any procedures done anyway. So it's like, what am I going to do?
Bro, this is you should have went to urgent care, man. At least get something.
I'm not paying for that.
So you're self-diagnosing yourself.
I'm just trying to stay off it for at least a week and see if it gets better. I mean, if it gets worse, obviously I'll have no choice but to go see somebody.
Are you like elevating and icing it and stuff?
That's what I've been doing every night. Yeah.
You taking any like Advil or anything?
Nah.
Bro, sometimes you got to help yourself. Don't you know any nurses, like any cute nurses that can help you?
I wish.
Man.
Probably wouldn't have happened if I knew a cute nurse. It was Valentine's Day night, so.
Oh man, this is just so disappointing. I'm so disappointed. You got to find a nurse. There's got to be a nurse in our chat. We got to do nurses.
Let's talk nurses.
Let's talk nurses.
Let's talk medical care.
Well, yeah, I mean, this could be an all-night segment. We could do an all-night segment doing this.
Let's keep it going. Shit.
My wife's a nurse. She said, suck it up. Yeah, we actually message Paul too. I'll find somebody for you, man.
Yeah, I don't think I need to go to a doctor though. I mean, I think it's slightly better than it was 2 days ago. I just can't put like pressure off my toes when I try to walk or anything. So,
well, as we move on, it's just, I don't know how but if anybody is interested in something else, last night I launched a new fundraiser. And first of all, thank you to everybody that's already donated and bought shirts. It's completely crazy. It's only been a day. April 13th, I'm doing the Jersey City Marathon. So I'm trying to raise awareness for mental health. So we're getting shirts made. And also I'm supporting 2 organizations. It's Flanders Field VFW Post in 150 in Queens and Ma Deuce Deuce in Tom's River. They actively work in the community to help our veterans. And it's awesome to do a lot of good things. So the links are in the description. So if you want to buy a shirt, appreciate it. The GoFundMe's in the description as well. And I'll be raising money for another, I guess, like 7 weeks. So there's plenty of time to do it. $10, $5, don't really care. Appreciate the support. Like I said, these you hear some of these stories from the veterans, like the support they're not getting for PTSD and some of their medical issues. It's really disappointing. So these organizations go out, they help drive them to the hospitals, they help them find jobs, they help them get medical support, which is really important. So if you can help out, I appreciate it. I'll be starting a weekly like a video blog on it too. Supposed to do it today, but I got sidetracked, so it'll be tomorrow. So any support you have, you want to do, it'd be great. And that's it. And the shirts are pretty cool. Thank you to Jay for helping me make them. And then Ryan Barger actually helped the design too. So I appreciate that as well. So definitely got a lot of things going on over here, Prime Time.
No, definitely go support Tyson's fundraiser. Great cause. Awesome that you give back that way. Too many people suffering in silence. So I'm glad that you bring light to all those conversations.
Yeah, man. It's something that's near and dear to both our hearts, but it's just, it's really cool. And thank you to Ian too, who put like all the information on his channel too, spreading the word. Matt O'Leary also helping out. So definitely appreciate that, man. It's like, it's a lot of people, like we have a platform that's fun to talk about the Jets, which we'll do momentarily, but it's nice to share other things too, where like the football is an escape. There's a lot of real life things going out there that you got to kind of talk about, that people are suffering in silence, that need to get that little urge, like it's okay to not be okay. Help is a text, call, or conversation away. And for our veterans, man, it's like, they served our country, dude. They came back and they're PTSD is some serious stuff. Like a very good friend of mine, I didn't know he was even dealing with it. He took up martial arts to help cope with it because he had so many problems. He just couldn't like just deal with it. You know what I mean? And he's like, oh, I go to this facility and get help. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, so the things I had no idea about it. And I started getting messages from all across the world. Like, hey, I deal with this, I deal with that. And I'm like, holy shit. Like how is it not getting more attention? You know what I mean? So every little bit counts.
No, obviously veterans are going through it much worse than I have, but I even got diagnosed with it a year ago. It's 2 weeks from tomorrow when my sister passed. So, the few months following that were just absolutely miserable. The thoughts that go through your heads, the emotions of everything, not knowing who to reach out to, not wanting to feel like a burden by, talking about things all the time. So it's just it's an emotional whirlwind kind of. So the fact that you're raising awareness and just bringing support there, it's great.
Yeah, and the real cool thing about the place in Flanders Field VFW, is they're doing active, like do things for their veterans, like setting up clinics and meetings and going to the gym and having outings. And Ma Deuce and Tom's River, they do the same thing. They have outings. They go on like little boat trips, a fishing trip. They do all these things to get them out to be with people, to have like some kind of camaraderie and friendship, to say, hey, listen, is everything okay? Like, let's talk. Like sometimes people don't want to talk to their friends and family. So they give them an outlet. Like, listen, talk to us. No judgment. It's a judgment-free zone. Let's talk about it and get to help you. And how can we help you? And it's important, man, because there's so many things that are going on right now that are just unfortunate, that get lost in the headlines. Like, oh my God, Aaron Rodgers is getting released. Okay, that's sad. But sadness is when you see a veteran take his own life because he didn't have help, or some like a young kid in school taking their own lives because they're getting bullied. That's 30 times more important than football is. So any awareness we can raise, I think, is just what we're trying to do with it. And thank you also to Jets Afterburners. Dan, thank you for having me on your show, and you and Liam, man, thank you for spreading the word too, man. You guys have been awesome with that, and I appreciate it. So,
yeah, a lot more serious shit going on in the world than the New York Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, like football becomes a great outlet to distract from all those things, and that's probably the thing that I love most about this channel, is that it's an escape from that. It's it's a distraction for all of us. Not just the chat, but you and I included. Like this is a way just to get away from everything else and have some fun interactions and just kind of forget the world a little bit.
Yeah, 100%. So with that being said, we have the Aaron Rodgers saga continues, as there's stories. To me, I'm already over it, but there's always more stories leaking. Depends on what you believe. There's probably the Jets side, Rodgers side, something in the middle is probably the truth. And you figure at some point he'll be on McAfee unloading his case of what actually happened. Then you can judge. To me, I'm just ready to move on, dude, because nothing's going to change. Like no matter what is said now by him or anybody else, the move is done. Like free agency's going to start, and they're going to be on to the next one. So I'm kind of over it at this point. I mean, I'm tired of talking about it.
No, I completely agree. It certainly makes me feel a certain way that they kind of, pushed him out the door and he wanted to be a part of the change here. But again, like that's what you knew when you hired a first-time head coach and GM, that you were going to give them the options to do things their own way. And if they didn't view him as part of the solution, what are we going to do? We have to accept that.
Yeah, and then it's a matter of finding your options. And it's interesting to see all the names out there. And we were talking about this earlier, but it's just you figure like there's a lot of names everybody talks about, but the question is, are they going to actually be available? So the first one, everybody's Justin Fields. That's the guy I want. Okay. To me, makes a lot of sense. Young kid, played with Garrett Wilson, but he could have an enormous ceiling where he's untapped potential, where if you can harness it and develop him, you could have your quarterback for the next 10 years, 12 years, which is a jackpot. My question is, does he actually become available, or does Pittsburgh actually keep him and let Russell Wilson go to the Raiders? Like, what do you see happen with Justin Fields?
I kind of feel like the Steelers are going to keep him, but I do think that's one name the Jets should be all about, especially with their offensive line, the ground game. You want to win ultimately with defense, with the defensive coordinator now as your head coach. What better way to kind of complement that than with the strong running game? We saw it work, for those couple of years with Rex. I think that could be a formula that maybe works. I don't know if it's a long-term answer, but certainly I think, Justin Fields definitely took a little bit of a leap from where he was the first few years in Chicago to where he was last year in Pittsburgh, kind of like the Sam Darnold path where year by year, you're starting to see him grow a little bit, so maybe something's finally starting to click there for him.
Yeah. So it's interesting, but if they let Russell Wilson walk, I think they're going to, unless they go after Aaron Rodgers, I get the funny feeling Justin Fields stays in Pittsburgh. So in that scenario, you figure Sam Darnold not coming here, Justin Fields stays in Pittsburgh. So
But you agree though that the Jets would have to at least have some level of interest, whether or not Darnold would ever entertain the idea of coming back here. I mean, as far as available quarterback options, who's better than him that's out there right now?
True, but I just don't see he's not going to want to come back here, dude. There's no way he wants to come back here.
But if you're Muji and Glenn, you're not making that pitch.
You could try. You could try calling when he sees Florham Park and blocks the number. Then you know that he. You could try. I just no way.
I mean, especially Glenn being in the same division last year, he got to see him play a bunch of times. I mean,
that dream is dead. Prime time.
I mean, if I got to let go of the Aaron Rodgers dream, I might as well latch back onto the Sam Darnold dream, right? Like, what else do I have here?
Curtis, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it.
Dude.
Thank you for everything you do for mental health awareness. It's one of those things we don't think about because we don't see it. 100%, dude. And that's the one thing. You never know the people that are dealing with things because everybody can hide it very well. And it becomes very obvious when you see a lot of celebrities that take their life and you're like, how in the hell did that happen? I didn't see that coming. And they had all these internal struggles that they hide. And it's sad, man. So the more people that get comfortable talking about it, you create that environment, the better off everybody is. And it's becoming more and more, relevant. People are talking about it. A lot of big bands talk about it now openly during concerts. Celebrities will be more outspoken, but it's got to be more than when it always seems like when something happens, like when a big person unfortunately takes their life, everybody's spreading the number around, doing all this stuff, and then it fades away again. Till the next big tragedy. It should be more, just make it more acceptable in society. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it should be more normalized. Absolutely. And I think when you see those high profile people, those celebrities, those athletes kind of being vulnerable and showing that side of themselves, I think it makes it a little more acceptable or normal for other people to be like, all right, I'm not the only one that's going through that shit.
All right. So if we say Justin Fields stays in Pittsburgh and Sam Darnold's not an option, if Fields stays, Russ goes, do you let Russ cook with the Jets?
Fuck
or do you think he goes to the Raiders?
No, I want zero interest. I have zero interest in Russell Wilson becoming a Jet. Absolutely not.
No. Okay. So that's 3 guys out. So what do you think about trading for Matthew Stafford?
Interesting. Part of me feels like the Jets need to go with the veteran bridge if they're going to go with the bridge quarterback. I know you're probably going to get into Tyrod Taylor, who I'm not really interested in, but I do think a veteran bridge excites me a little bit more than
he's more than a bridge.
I mean, how old is he? 36?
Yeah, but he played a high level. Dude. He's still a high level quarterback right now.
But he's a bridge to whoever your next guy is ultimately going to be, right? You're not expecting.
But if you bring in Stafford, you're thinking at least 2 or 3 years out of him, though. He's not a 1 year. A bridge to me is a 1 year guy. Then you move on to somebody else next year. Stafford's at least 2 or 3 years and a big ass contract.
I mean, you would hope it. Yeah, at least 2 or 3 years. But I mean, I just think from the perspective of first time head coach, first time offensive coordinator, there's going to be a lot of shit on their plate that they're going to have to deal with this year. Throwing, a rookie quarterback into the mix because, a lot of people are already talking about trading up for a quarterback, the Jackson Dart conversations and all the connections with Spielman there. Like the idea of bringing a rookie quarterback into this right now.
We're going through Stafford. We're going through the list first.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I like the idea of a veteran like Stafford because it prevents you from going all in for that rookie quarterback. Or if you do go all in for that rookie quarterback, you have somebody that can play for 2 years where that rookie quarterback could actually watch.
All right. So I'm going to give you my hot take. I'm saying no to Stafford because I think the price tag and what it costs to get him, I think it's just going to be too much. And it's just not. That's like a win now move. The Jets, we just did the win now thing. I think that's like a desperate move for desperate organization. That's a Giants move. That's not a Jets move.
When did you become so concerned with the cap?
Because I'm trying to develop. See, I'm trying to develop a team now. I'm a program builder. I'm not chasing the one hit wonders. I'm about developing a legitimate program to actually win a Super Bowl. I'm not trying to win 9 games and be happy about it. I'm trying to win a title here, prime time. It's a difference. It's a different mindset now.
I mean, we already have the $35 million cap hit for Rodgers next year. So,
well, we chased the title, it didn't work. Now we have to own that, and now we have to build the right way. We're not one quarterback away. So now, Jameis Winston is a name everybody loves. I don't think he comes here, but that's a guy that would be interesting. But I think his style of play probably doesn't match what the Jets want to do. They probably want to be ground and pound, good defense. He's probably a little bit too reckless a style of play for them.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Ground and pound in defense, not turning the football over, just kind of winning all those little things. And I don't know if he would actually fit that kind of mold. I think he brings some leadership, which would be great. I would love all the pregame speeches before the game. Like that would be awesome to watch. But from an entertaining standpoint, good. From winning football perspective, probably not so great.
So what would be your criteria for a free agent bridge quarterback? What would be experience, good game manager,
some level of success, leadership,
cheap?
I'm not too worried about the price tag because like I said last week, though, like for me, winning in 2025, it's not everything, but I do think it's important. Like if you legitimately believe in this young core with Garrett Wilson and Brees and Olu and all these guys, at some point they need to experience winning. Because you kind of feel like things are teetering a little bit. So if you're talking like we were talking last week about 6 or 7 wins being kind of where this team looks like they're at right now, I don't know how you're convincing a lot of these guys to just be patient, trust the process again. Like they need to experience winning, I think, next year, or at least play meaningful games in December. I think that's
you can win 7 games is an improvement. If you're playing 7 games and you have
then they don't like you saw the post from Quinnen Williams. Another rebuild year for me, I guess. Like that's the mentality that's probably in the locker room right now. Not saying it's going to be there come training camp. Obviously, Glenn's going to do a lot of work from now until then. You hope he gets everybody to buy in. But I think right now, a lot of players are looking around like, are the New York Jets serious about winning in 2025? And most of these guys aren't ready to just throw another season away after the last 3.
But the Jets aren't. But see, that's there's not the notion that Jets are punting the season. They're not punting the season. They're going to go about winning a different way by building a team and playing sound, physical, smart football. Get rid of the penalties. And if you have an offense that's playing, say, averaging 25 points a game, looks much more better than the last 5 or 6 years, guys are going to buy in. When they know they're being well coached and there's something to actually believe in, they'll buy in. If they see the shit they've seen for the last 3 years, where they know it's just like Captain Chaos hack leading the way, it goes a long way, dude. They know when they're going to go right direction or not. And they knew that Saleh was in over his head. They knew Ulbrich was lost. They knew Hackett sucked. Downing sucked. They knew it.
I don't think they're intentionally punting the season. I just think realistically where this team's probably going to be at with so many changes, so many first-time guys. I mean, unless you do get that veteran quarterback that's actually won something before and has some level of success and some leadership to bring to the table, I don't know if it's realistic to expect more than, 7 or 8 wins.
Which is, to me, it's an improvement. So then, there it is. Derek Carr.
I wouldn't totally hate it with all the options out there.
Okay,
not my first choice,
but Derek Carr could be expensive. So you're looking for a proven guy, game manager, high character guy, and cheap. You're already paying Tyrod what, $12 million, whatever it is. You got Jordan Travis. You may want your Kirk Cousins, my friend.
I'd be okay with that too.
He could come cheap, dude. He can come real. He could be similar to what Russell Wilson was with the Pittsburgh Steelers, playing for like $1 million.
Wouldn't totally hate it.
I wouldn't hate it either, to be honest with you. And he sucks. He's coming off an ACL. He was playing at a very high level last year before he got hurt. He's going to come cheap. You have Tyrod too. So it's not like you have 2 guys that can actually help you win games. Meanwhile, if you take a project guy in the 3rd or 4th round, he's learning from them too. They're not forced to play this year. You're not rushing him into action. Not the worst case scenario, dude.
If you do get a Kirk Cousins, I mean, never mind.
Let's hear it.
Do you really think they're going to keep Tyrod Taylor?
Why not? For $1 million, who cares?
Well, you have Jordan Travis, who's kind of your project. If you draft, and he's not Muji or Glenn's guy, that's from the previous regime. So if they want to draft another guy in the mid rounds to develop, you're not keeping 4 quarterbacks.
Why not?
So it would be the odd man out.
Jordan Travis hasn't even practiced yet.
No, I get it. And again, he's not one of the current regime's draft picks, so he might not even be. he might not even be part of the plans. I acknowledge that, but they also might like his skill set and they might want to develop him. So if you want to keep him and draft another quarterback, you can't really keep Tyrod also, right?
I could. I don't care. It doesn't bother me one bit because I'm not drafting a quarterback in the first 3 rounds. It's gonna be a late, like a developmental guy. Take it, and with an eye towards
on the roster still.
Yeah, dude, Travis could be the odd man out. Like,
okay,
because if you're saying just say there, you're paying Tyrod is it 12? I think it's 12 million, right? I forget. It's not a lot. Yeah. Him and you're paying Kirk Cousins 1. You have $13 million invested in the quarterback room. That's nothing, dude. Yeah. With 2 guys that, for all you guys that want to win games this year, can help you win games this year. Can't complain about that. How does it hurt? And then you literally, your project quarterback is not going to see the field, as they shouldn't. They sit back and they actually learn. That's what you should do. Let the best man win.
But one of those guys would have to be the odd man out because you're not going to carry 4 quarterbacks. You agree with that, right?
That's fine. Yeah. I don't mind having, dude, if you have a Tyrod, Kirk Cousins, 1-2, that's it. You're going to have stability at the quarterback position. So if one goes down, the other guy can play, and you can actually implement and run your offense and actually see what you have. See what your tight end group can look like. Kind of, then next year when your offense is kind of already in place, if you draft a kid next year, you know what you're looking at on the field. Then you have your plug and play guy. Here you go. Let's go figure it out because this is how it's supposed to be run. Not the worst plan, dude.
No, definitely not.
And it's again, there is no perfect quarter available. Like Derek Carr has warts, Kirk Cousins has. There's no like slam dunk quarterback, but you got to figure something out. Now, would you consider Daniel Jones?
No. Just no.
He's gonna get some pretty good money.
I couldn't wrap my head around that. Definitely not.
All right, so we see we got Daniel Jones. Who else we got?
It seems like all these options have like some serious injury concerns to go with it as well. So like for all the talk that we had about Rodgers, it's like we're replacing one guy that's had injuries with another guy that's probably going to be injured.
But they're also looking for like younger too, which is kind of a nice caveat. Instead of 42, you get in the 30s.
Care about that?
Come on, bro. We can't have zombies walking around out there.
He wanted to be part of the change, and they pushed him out the door. Ridiculous.
Out.
Joking.
You know why he wanted to be part of the change? Because he had nowhere else to go. He read the room.
We don't know that yet. We don't know that yet.
The market. We'll see.
We don't know that yet.
We'll see. I'm telling you, if the Steelers take Justin Fields over him, that speaks volumes, dude. Would you want version 2.0 to come back?
No.
Come on, man.
Bubs isn't serious about that. I know Bubs.
Bubs learned from the other content creators. He's clickbaiting now. Bubs is trying to rope us in. Trey Lance, I mean,
no.
I mean, if you want to, that's like after like Kirk Cousins or something like that. You do him and Kirk Cousins, not just that. That's not your primary guy.
No, you're not expecting him to play if you bring him in. But
Mac Jones,
he's gonna be fighting with Sauce in training camp. No way. Hit him in the nuts.
Let Tim Boyle. Oh God. See, now this is an interesting one. Would you trade for JJ McCarthy? And I don't think. Well, first of all, he's coming off an injury. Second of all, I don't think they're trading him because that's the guy they picked to be their next franchise quarterback. I don't think Sam Darnold stays there. They're not going to pay Sam any money, so that's their only option at quarterback, unless Aaron Rodgers goes there.
That would be interesting.
He follows
the exact same plan as Favre. That would be funny if that happened. Actually,
could you imagine?
But why wouldn't they just keep Darnold though after winning 14 games last year?
Because he choked in the playoffs.
They were going to take one game and say
2 games actually.
Races a 14-win season.
When the going got rough, Sam became Sam. Can you imagine Rodgers goes to the Vikings?
That would be wild.
That'd be hysterical.
But would you be trading for McCarthy with the expectation that he'd be ready to play year one, or you still want him to sit for another year or two?
I mean, is he fully healthy yet? Didn't he have a setback or something like that?
I didn't follow enough of the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that, man. What are you going to give up to get him too? You're going to give up all these assets for a guy that's coming off. I don't know, man. And then how much, if you're going to do that, like how much, where would you rank him in this draft class as opposed to, Ward and Sanders or even next year's draft class? Like, where do you rank him in all these guys?
Exactly.
So we'll bring on some callers. You can share your thoughts on the quarterback. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. Do you want, let's see, we haven't talked to him in a while. Where have you been?
Yo.
Oh, guys, it's great to be back. In fact, I want to open a beer right now.
There you go.
Celebrate 10 years of a fine show, and the content's just getting better.
Thank you, Tim.
Appreciate it.
But where have I been? Well, I had, I was a season ticket holder. I did have cancer, and I did have a stroke.
Oh my goodness.
But that was like, but that was in 2023. I beat the freaking cancer. Cheers, by the way.
Awesome. Congratulations with that. Damn.
Prostate. Yeah, it was fairly bad. I had cyberknife.
Holy shit.
But yeah, it was pretty serious. But I based on everything that they think, they think that I beat it because it was an early detection.
Good for
Glad to
you,
hear
bro.
that,
Holy
man.
cow.
And
So
then I
bad.
had a freaking stroke, which is even worse. But thank God it was in the back of my head. I didn't lose any guitar playing ability. I'm still playing in the band. We got a drummer.
There you go. You're bouncing back strong then.
Oh, I'm back.
That's incredible, dude. I'm really glad to hear that. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was that's why, I mean, when did I start watching you guys? When you were still doing the radio call-in show?
Yep.
What
It's
was
been a
it? Was
while,
it
dude.
5 years ago or 4, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, the content's good. What can I say?
Appreciate it. What jersey are you wearing right now?
A sauce.
There you go.
2 years ago, special. I got it on sale at the stadium like this past season. Yeah, I gave up my tickets. Yes, the kudos are rolling in. I love it. But no, I beat the freaking cancer. We're not 100% out of the woods or sure, but we think we got it. Recovered from the stroke, playing hoops, going to games. So let me ask you this: is the Aaron Rodgers era officially over?
It's over.
Of course, it's
Long over, man.
It sucks so bad because here's my rationale for why I would have liked to see him come back, and that is he got hurt year 1, year 2, which was last year. He was not 100%, not even close. Towards the end of the year, he got better, but they didn't give him that third year of chance when he was 100%. Because all the names I heard Jared Goff on Instagram. Is he a possibility?
Jared Goff.
I don't think so.
Is he even in the league? I mean, I saw it on Instagram.
Jared Goff's he's playing at a high level with the Lions.
Why would the Lions? Yeah.
He's like an MVP quarterback.
Well, I mean, if they're not getting Goff, they're not getting Mahomes, they're not getting Josh Allen. So why couldn't you have just brought back Aaron for one more year? He's healthy. Hall of Fame quarterback. He's healthy instead of all this freaking nonsense.
The $89 million in cap hit you got to take for him.
And we're still going to be paying $35 million for him not to be here now.
I mean, I'd rather pay 35 than 89.
I would have loved to see him come back.
Yeah, but do you want to have a $65 million cap hit next year when he's not on the team?
I just wanted one more year of a run with Aaron. The guy's the best available.
I mean, what is him coming back actually give the Jets though? How many wins? 7, 8?
Minimum 7.
And what's the maximum? 8?
10, 11.
Oh, come on.
A healthy Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Fame, rejuvenated by the rest, darkness retreats,
hold on.
microdosing, the whole 9.
What rest?
Wait, but how do you say they're a 6-7 win team with Tyrod Taylor, but also a 7-win team with Aaron Rodgers?
Because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is as good as everybody says he is. And the funny thing is, everybody says Tyrod gets hurt. What has Aaron Rodgers been the last 4 years? Hurt. And he's 42 years old.
4 years ago, he was an MVP.
Yeah,
But
4 years ago, we were
still
doing different things.
I don't know. I just respect. Give him one more shot. But I guess that ship has sailed.
It's out. It's over. Ship is sunk.
That sucks so bad. But no, I'll still. I like I said, I gave up my season tickets, but I'll still. If you guys are going to Tailgate Joe's on opening night, it's a tradition.
100%.
Tradition.
That's it. Every home opener, I will always go to until I die. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Other than that, every other game is up in the air.
That reminds me of a funny story. Like, I don't want to hold you, but like last time I saw you guys was at Tailgate Joe's, the opener of last year, and I happened to have really, really bad Achilles tendonitis, so I could barely walk. And like we were partying over at Tailgate Joe's, and then you guys said, "Okay, we're going to another tailgate, Tim. Come on." And like that, because my foot was so messed up, I just saw you guys like fade out into the distance. And it was like a movie because like the sun was blaring, and I ended up like bailing. I came back to Tailgate Joe. I ended up partying with that kid Jordan. He had a bottle of JD.
I remember that.
We had a couple of shots of that, and so I salvaged the whole. So it ended up being a great home opener.
Tailgate Joe's is always a good time. But the last couple of years, it's always has a bottle. It's always the kind of bottle. It was like this year was tequila and something else. It's like, God damn. Like,
yeah, you got to finish it. You can't bring it in.
That's true. No, I 100% agree.
No, but my band's got a drummer now. We're ready to do shows.
Where are you doing shows at?
Wherever we can get one.
Where do you post your schedule at?
Probably like on Insta.
I follow you, I think, don't I?
I don't know.
Do you guys have a band? Do you have a band Instagram or just yours?
I only have a Facebook page for the band, not an Insta.
What's your Facebook page?
The Wrestlers.
RAS was it
RASSLERS.
Fucking hey, dude. You play in the city? Where do you guys play at?
Usually like Otto Shrunken Head on 14th Street or Parkside on the Lower East Side. Dives.
Is it a weekend place or is it during the week you play?
Well, ideally get on the weekends, but we're kind of at our level. You just take what you can get.
Dude, I'll check it out. I'll follow you guys. Check it out. I'll try to come check one. How often do you play?
Well, tell you the truth, I don't know. Every so often, like we're gonna jam next month and hopefully get a show in the spring. And we're still doing Mr. Primetime Blues. That song still lives, bro. 4 years later, man.
We need it.
I just tweaked the lyrics.
That would be a good night for it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Primetime. You got banged up like without insurance. That really sucks.
Yeah, Tyson beat me up for all my Rogers takes.
No, if I beat you up, you look a lot worse than that.
But that's all I got.
Well, bro, first of all, it's great to hear from you. And thank you for buying a shirt, too, man. I noticed that you bought a shirt, man. Thank you so much for supporting, dude.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. But anyway, no, it's been I've been following you guys for 4 or 5 years. It's been a great run. I hope to continue. The content's still great and it's still fun. I hope to see you guys at the stadium. Come on the show every once in a while, like the old school. Yeah,
well, dude, congratulations, man. Hopefully you keep fighting, stay strong.
All right,
need anything, let us know, dude. That's great to hear from you, man.
All right, thanks a lot.
Have a good night.
See you kids later.
Have a good night,
bro,
man.
He's been through some stuff, and to have that big smile on his face and the excitement, that's cool as hell, man. It's so cool to see him bouncing back like that. Oh,
gracious for what you have, not what you don't have.
100%. I just joined the bed. Lead singer. There you go. Look at we have our own rock channel now. No shit. Damn. It's exciting stuff here. All right. Do you want to go? What do you want to go? What kind of? Let's see. Do you want calm and collected or an up and coming content creator?
Ooh, up and coming content creator sounds interesting.
There he is.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Me. Tyson, good work with the fundraiser, and congrats on 10 years.
Thank you, man. I can't believe it's 10 years. It's crazy.
I was just doing some quick math.
Oh, God.
They are 56 and 108 since 2015.
And people wonder why we're so negative and angry all the time.
Yeah, they are. It's a 341 win percentage.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
50.
So that's an average. So we've averaged less than 6 wins a season, basically.
Yeah, right? Yeah, 50.
Right?
Yeah, something
56 and 108?
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's just crazy, dude. It's like, how are we still fans of this team? Like, seriously. That's just incredible.
Yeah.
You know what? The Jets owe me because I'm the only one positive on this channel. I should get my credentials back. I've overcome your shit, everybody else's shit. I'm the only one embracing change. I want my credentials back.
Timeout.
I'm the only
timeout. Timeout.
Timeout. Tim Boyle.
It's easy for you to play the nice guy in the offseason. No, if you want to go through stream by stream by stream over the last 10 years,
I have to overcome
more negativity to this channel.
You
or me?
You bring me down all the time. This is ridiculous. I have to every year. I have to try to rally the troops, inspire Bubs, to not let you bring him down. The Jets owe me, dude. I should get credentials back. I should. Why not?
Weren't you the one planning the interviews a month ago?
No, that was you. You wanted to bring me down and go down these dark paths of Robert Saleh, interview him, Woody Johnson. Listen, I've embraced the change. I've actually given them credit.
Now, yeah.
This is
week 1. Somebody clip this for week 1.
No, I want credentials back. The Jets owe me. This is not fair. I have to overcome all of you people that are just down and doom and gloom.
That's
all
why
the
you're
time.
so positive. You're selling your soul for credentials.
No, it's not credentials. It's just having the positive outlook on life. Anything can happen in any year. Aaron Rodgers, who? Out with the old, in with the new. Literally the old. Out.
Yeah. You're right. They are out with the old, in with the new. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens at quarterback. I guess if you guys had to make a prediction, who do you think it'll be? Like if you had to.
We ask the questions here. You don't ask us questions. So who is your top 5 realistic quarterbacks that you want, and you got to put them in order?
I want a guy that can move, so preferably Fields would be one.
Okay.
I like Tyrod. I like Tyrod a lot more than most.
Me too.
I throw Tyrod in. I just want a guy that can move. I'm not a huge Kirk guy, so I'll go like Fields.
You know who can't move, Bubs?
Who?
Prime time in the ice.
Oh, yeah.
I can move. I just moved the wrong way.
Maybe move too much, actually.
Problem.
Okay, so you got Tyrod. You got
Fields.
Fields.
Yeah, Fields, Tyrod. If they move on, I know he's expensive, but he's probably maybe the best would be Carr. Going back to the 2023 days, but I'd go Carr. Darnold is just unrealistic. Darnold would be number one on everyone's list. I think that's just a little unrealistic. I'd throw Winston in there. I think he's entertaining. Look, he's going to throw 4 touchdowns, 3 picks, but at least, he could move the ball a little bit, take some chances deep. That's another thing too I like about Tyrod is they could stretch the field a little bit. It's not going to be this, ideally you're not going to get yourself into this 10, 15-yard offense where it's a bunch of check downs. It's these 3-4 yard slants and that's it.
Yep.
Like we saw a lot last year and even the year before that. We've seen that for a while. So guys that could stretch the field. So throw Winston in there and then, maybe take a chance then on you draft a rookie second round, maybe a Dart or a Miller or somebody and have them sit. Not somebody that I would start, but have them sit.
So you
want to throw like Brissett in there or somebody like that.
Hold on. Time out.
End of the list.
So you're going to draft a quarterback in the second round and let him sit?
Potentially day 2 or day 3. I don't really know how much they value this year's like middle of the quarterback class. Like I don't really know how they really feel the board's going to shake out. Like if they're really high on Dart, do they take him at 42 or do they think he can wait or they can wait and maybe get like a Will Howard or does McCord drop to the, day 3? You've also got Milrow as well. Spielman seems high on Dart. You kind of have to see how high they are in this class. You're not going to go up and obviously get Shedeur or Cam, but other than like, would they be willing to go take a guy day 2, day 3? That's the range. 42 if they would.
Would you trade down from pick 7?
I can
considering the lost draft picks for Devontae Adams, you can recoup some of them and then maybe take Dart later.
If they don't love a guy at 7 and they want to move back, I could see that. Especially if let's say like they are at 7. Let's say a guy like McMillan's off the board and they want to move back and maybe get like a Luther Burden or somebody like that, another receiver in the later first round. I could see that happening because they need receiver help. So I could certainly see that. Even if they go the offensive line route, you can trade back and probably still get a solid offensive lineman in the first round.
Offensive line.
If they want, like maybe they go Will Campbell, but if they want to move back, because if Morgan Moses isn't coming back, they're going to need somebody to fill that void.
Yeah, but
and it doesn't seem like Moses is coming back, according to Connor.
But in terms of like best value, and like right now the Jets, especially on offense, you need stud playmakers because you're losing Adams, you're losing Lazard, you have no tight ends. Conklin's probably gone, right? Yeah. Like you can make an argument for wide receiver, tight end, right?
Yeah.
Offensive line is kind of like it'd be wide receiver, tight end, defensive line, like a defensive tackle,
like a Mason Graham.
You need a safety.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's like the 5th offensive lineman. Is it that important? Like there's some that are.
No, I actually agree with you. Like this regime's got to start hitting more on some of these linemen and some of these guys like that. Just even post day 1, like they can't keep every year. We can't keep spending premium picks on offensive linemen and just keep swinging and missing. We started. I think it was only fitting that Douglas started his tenure with Becton and ended with Fashion. It just showed you all the struggles he had. So, yeah, Warren. I think you could probably trade back and still get him. I don't think there's going to be a high demand at 7 there. I think you're more looking at the Abdul Carters, Travis Hunters going off the board early.
Yeah. And
then you could probably trade back middle of the round, 15, 16 for a team that wants to move up for, I don't know, whoever's there. And then you could still get a Warren again, like a Luther Burden, somebody like that, a playmaker that can come in here. And then later in the rounds, you try and hit on that offensive lineman and potentially bring in a veteran stopgap for a year, a right tackle, have that guy behind him, and then you figure that out. And because your offense line's still young. 4 of your 5 starters are 27 or under. Simpson's in his prime.
You can also sign a free agent too. Like you can get a solid free agent for your right tackle too. That's not spending a lot of money and bring them in, and then you're solidified. Go in the draft with more flexibility.
Yeah, that's why I'd be totally on board with bringing Moses back. But supposedly Hughes said that he doesn't expect him to be back. So
I mean, but like I get the whole. We all love Morgan Moses. Guy's a warrior. Played hurt. Did it great. But at some point, you like, how about get a younger guy that you can actually put with these other guys and have your line for the next 5 years together? Like you respect him, but you're like he's like a Band-Aid. Get rid of the Band-Aid. Get more of a guy that's going to be here longer term. You know what I mean? Like, and you could do it. It'll be affordable. It's not like it's going to break the bank to do that.
Yeah, somebody that kind of fits this mold where you're not talking about a 30-plus-year-old guy, somebody that's south of 30 as opposed to north of 30. I could see that.
We're on the same page here, Bubs. We're working together here.
Can we just go back to this? Was this a serious list by Armand?
So for those of you that are listening, it is my top free agent quarterbacks from Armand: Carson Wentz, Cooper Rush, Trey Lance, Marcus Mariota, Andy Dalton. Cooper Rush is interesting.
I like Rush.
He's an interesting player.
Yeah, he can win games. They could have used Rush last or 2023.
Carson Wentz is a name. Oof. We ignored him last year.
If any one of those 5 are starting for the Jets, these streams are going to be unbearable this year.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. I have faith that we're going to win games. The quarterback is going to be a game manager. Hey, Cooper Rush is interesting, dude. That's an interesting name.
Raising that bar there, Tyson.
It is. This is why I want my credentials back. I will bring positivity back to the Jets world. It can't be doom and gloom. It's a new regime here.
I want to see how long this lasts.
It's going to last all year long, my friend. All year long. Promise. So now of your options, Bubs, who do you think is going to actually get there? Because I think a lot of them are not going to be available to us.
Yeah. I think they're going to get outbid for Fields. I think there's a team that's just going to get kind of out of their price range. And I could see him just going back to Pittsburgh, just given that he was already there last year. They clearly probably like him over there if Rodgers doesn't go to Pittsburgh. I don't think Rodgers will go. I think him and Tomlin, that would be a weird dynamic. But if I had to make a prediction, I mean, I still think it'll be Tyrod just because he's already under contract. I think they'll bring another veteran, but I think Tyrod's ultimately the 2025 under center week 1 starter. But I mean, I think Winston, Brissett visited him last year. I know it's a new regime, but they have had an interest in Brissett in the past. And I could see Kirk too, just because he's going to be so cheap. He's going to be 1.7 million, I think it is. And then they're 27.2 million for his 28 or something is going to be Atlanta. So
would you now with Cousins, would you keep Tyrod on the roster? Would you have him and Tyrod?
Yeah. I mean, cause he's so cheap, you could fit both. I like kind of having that barrier between Tyrod and then the rookie. Because if Tyrod goes down week 3, you don't want a Jackson Dart being thrown into the fire right. You kind of want that barrier. And if you're talking about a $1 million quarterback behind him, that's not bad at all. I mean, it's a lot cheaper than any of these other. It's the cheapest option probably.
I'd like to have another veteran, but I'd also like to have 2 guys maybe that you can kind of develop for the future. And I'm still holding out a little bit of hope that maybe Jordan Travis can be one of those guys. And I feel like this regime is probably going to want to take somebody else. And you're not.
Yeah, I think at this point, anything you get out of Travis is a bonus. It's just the sound of a 5th-round pick from a previous regime. It just doesn't. Who hasn't completed NFL practice, and I'm right there with you. I would love for Jordan Travis to translate into the next guy. I'd love for if they draft a guy this year in the middle rounds to be the next guy, but I don't see Travis. I think there's a chance not even on the roster. I would take a chance. I'd call, and I agree with you, prime time as well. I would ask about Darnold. The worst they could say is no.
You have to.
You have to at least.
Why is your head down? He's the best available free agent option at quarterback. And a long-term answer.
Do we all forget how it ended here? Do you think he wants to come back?
He's not going to come. He's not.
It's his biggest nightmare.
I remember how it ended with Adam Gase. Absolutely. I remember how it ended with Adam Gase.
Almost ended his career.
And look what happened when he got coached up the right way.
He wants to live in
freedom. If
Aaron
Glenn is as good as you say he is, why would he not be a fit here?
Because it's not Aaron Glenn. It's not being a fit here. It's just this market and this organization failed him. He does not want to go back to his failures. He wants to live a prosperous life of happiness. Don't go back to your nightmares. Stay with your dreams.
But if he was open to it,
he's not open to it, dude.
He
probably blocked the Jets organization. All the numbers are probably blocked.
If he was open to it,
he's not open to it.
If he was open to it, what would your response be?
If the Jets want him, go for it.
Would you embrace that?
Sure, absolutely. He's the next quarterback of the Jets. This is just fantasy land. This is like,
it's not.
If Aaron Rodgers would be 5 years younger, would you bring him back? Of course.
There's probably a better chance of one of us 3 starting than Darnold, but you can at least just call and just get it.
You know what it is? Prime
Just
time.
confirmed
Prime
the
time is
no.
looking for something to hang on to.
I am.
He's brokenhearted over Rodgers. It's like he's got something to
Hey,
he's
you
trying
would
to find love.
But the possibility of Fields, you were on the Fields train 2021
I
though,
was.
so
I was.
you could get your guy there if they do go out and get Fields. But I will say this, an interesting option I would look into is I don't know if they would do it just in division, but I'd call about Joe Milton. I mean, the guy's I don't think it happens. I don't think New England would do it, but
nope.
I'd be interested in him coming here and potentially sitting and learning. Like I would prefer him over. I'd prefer that option. Like you're talking about a young option already in the NFL. I'd prefer him over like a Hendon Hooker. I don't think Hendon Hooker's got much. I think Milton's got a higher ceiling. But
is there a world where I already saw where the Jets are interested in Ward? Is there a world where you see the Jets trading up to get him in the draft? I don't think so, right?
No, it just doesn't make sense. Why would Muji start the clock on a franchise quarterback right now? Like, why would he do that? It would be dumb. He's already starting the clock too early, essentially, when you could just wait a year. It wouldn't make sense. So I don't see that, nor would I really do that. I'm not going to give up a first, your 42nd, move all the way up to one. That's no way.
No.
I mean, unless if they love him, then I guess you have to trust them, but there's no way they do. It just wouldn't make sense. The timeline just wouldn't make sense.
See, now Bubs has matured so much with his takes now. He's about timeline and cap space and building a program. This is a quality content creator right here, Primetime.
Absolutely.
Bubs, have a good night, man. Thanks for calling. We appreciate it.
Yep, thanks for having me on, guys. Have a good one.
See, and he left smiling too. He walked out. He felt good about himself. This is positivity, Primetime.
That's what the show's all about, right? That's all we do.
All my credentials back, man. If Darnold hadn't stunk up against the Lions, the Rams, I could see it, but now he'd be crawling back. It ain't gonna happen.
I don't think he'd be crawling back.
Crawling.
I think there's going to be a lot of teams that are interested in him as a long-term answer.
He cost himself some serious money by the way he ended the season, though. That was vintage Sam Darnold in a big spot.
I think he's still going to get a nice contract.
Not the most he could have.
Coming off a 14-win season, young quarterback starting to turn it around. I think he's going to get paid pretty well.
So, Primetime, would you take a chance with Hooker?
With a Hooker?
Yes.
No.
Hendon Hooker? You wouldn't do that?
Oh, Hendon Hooker, I would.
Oh, just yeah.
Yeah.
I misspoke. My bad.
Okay.
Look at this guy. What's up, man?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Are you ready for Sam Darnold 2.0?
No. But a couple of things.
You're a hater, bro. You're a hater.
Best wishes and to Tim. Hope everything goes well.
Well said.
Congratulations to you guys for 10 years.
Thank you.
Hopefully 10 more of
10
prosperity.
More
10 more years of prosperity. It's fun. PT, go to the supermarket, steal one of those electric scooters. You could take that to the train.
That's a good idea.
I'm telling you. Get one that's just been charged. That should last you for at least a week.
Just don't speed.
Where am I going to leave it?
Just put put a chain on it.
Yeah.
Who's going to take it?
Absolutely.
That's all. And just go.
That's a really good idea.
You have a basket. You can keep your lunch in.
Get a little bell. Ding, 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 a little bell.
I'll still probably go down on the ice with that.
Nice.
Mess myself up even more.
We'll give you a seatbelt. We'll give you a seatbelt and a belt so you can't fall off.
Get one with an airbag in it.
And we'll put a little water bottle on so you get some water too.
Exactly. But and a first aid kit just in case. Yeah. Hello, Darren.
We're trying to find solutions for you, Primetime. We're all about giving answers here.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah, just take it. Okay, and bring it back when it's done. So this way, bring it back in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ride it all the way back to the supermarket.
Yeah, you take a 2-week rental.
That's all. In the middle of the night, just leave it and park it.
And then take a freshly charged one. So you keep recycling them in and out. So you just keep getting the charged ones.
Yeah, we'll add an arrest to all my other issues going on.
Or get a scooter, electric scooter, one of those little ones.
Go get him a Jets license plate.
Perfect.
Darnold for life.
Guys.
A-Rod 8.
That's right. They see me rolling.
A-Rod 8.
I'm actually starting to picture it in my head now.
It's just we can pimp this shit up. Oh my!
Put a Let's Joke Jets sticker on the thing. So
I got more stickers, so you can be a marketing tool. You could write it off too, Prime Time. We can put stickers on it.
this way, no one touches it.
We'll get a little flag. You can drag the flag. Like little Let's Talk Jets flag.
I knew I should have waited a week until I came on here.
Put your laptop on it, and you could do like a live stream going into work.
That would be great content.
Instagram Live. Instagram Live. You're driving down there, ringing your bell.
It'll take about the same length of time, about an hour, to get to that scooter.
Give him a little horn.
Train station.
Give him like a little cane. Hit people. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. With a little cane to hit people.
It's okay.
That's really a good idea for content, though. You got me thinking now.
We're here for you, man.
That's it. Yeah.
My morning walk content.
Some fuzzy dice. See,
oh man,
this is what happens when you come on the stream with a black eye, dude. Not my fault.
And you're the one that trains fighters, and you're never screwed up. Like, what the hell is this?
Prime time on a scooter.
Himself. He's defense.
Prime time on a scooter would still be more mobile than Rogers.
That's a good one.
Oh, can't make this up.
We can't.
We really can't.
So now back to the question.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold 2.0, is that realistic?
No, I don't think so. I think he's going to cost too much anyway, and I don't think he wants to come. He wants to go with the team that's already somewhat built. He's not just going to come to rebuild again. We're limited. Let's be honest. We're limited to.
Why are we limited?
No, I'm saying the choices we have.
But why? There's plenty of choices.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, car's 33, right?
Wait,
but
Afram,
he's too much money.
Is the glass half empty or glass half full?
I'm being realistic. I'm hoping.
Answer the question.
I'm being realistic. Glass hasn't been filled yet. We don't know what we're drinking yet.
Is it poison or is it water?
It could be a milkshake for all we know. But yeah, Cousins, yes, you get him on the cheap, but he got hurt last season. What does he give you? I if we could afford Carr, it would be a perfect scenario because you can have him for 2-3 years and develop a quarterback in the background, right?
The hell was that noise?
That's my dog. Yeah,
Did you feed it?
Yes. He just does this all the time when he's ignored. He starts to whine.
So wait. If he does this all the time, you ignore him all the time.
No, I don't. No, because I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you.
He's just needy.
Yeah, exactly.
Prime time's the same way. I don't talk to him. He starts crying. It's just
he's become this way. You know, Riley, sit, go.
Oh, damn, you're mean to him too.
No,
dog lives in fear.
Got to be stern.
You know what? You could go. You're like Aaron Glenn. You're the same way. He's the same way.
No nonsense.
Right.
Well, listen, based on what I've calculated from over the cap, you're going to have about.
Oh wait, we got cap space now.
Yeah,
you're taking your job back now. Finally.
Well, I'm giving you information.
It's about goddamn time.
Accept
it's about a month.
Accept it.
Prime time has asked you how many times for updated salary.
It hasn't asked me nothing.
I'm always asking you.
You don't have any information.
It's supposed to be your role on this channel. Be in the cap guy.
Right now, you're with post one Rodgers, which you can't take in the draft. You have to cut Devontae. You cut Devontae, Lazard. I would cut Zerline. I'd cut Morstead, and I'd cut Clemens. I'd end up with about 56 to 57 mil.
What about Mosley?
Mosley doesn't give you much. You could do post one, yeah, but the two posts that you could do would be Rodgers and Tyron.
Tyron?
Yeah, because you
still. This is a terrible idea.
You post one.
But wait, why are you getting rid of Tyron? Who the hell can be the quarterback?
No. Smith.
Tyron. I think you said Tyron.
Tyron.
Oh, yeah.
Tyron.
He's got it. Yeah, Tyron.
You'll have another $11 million after June.
Perfect.
To spend. So.
And one wide receiver. But,
no, that's Douglas's fault.
Exactly. You use the draft for that. You get a wide receiver in the draft. You get the tight end. You can pick tight end at 7.
Got Malachi Corley.
Yeah.
He's Yak King.
Yeah, but I mean, he's the Yak King. Listen, we got holes to fill, but the first one
we have a
is
lot of holes to
quarterback.
fill. How's this a win now team? Answer that question, prime time.
It's good enough to win with the right quarterback and the right coach.
Mm-hmm.
We all acknowledge they weren't coached right last year, right? We all acknowledge they weren't
absolutely.
disciplined, right?
You're-
We all acknowledge they had penalty issues, they had special teams issues, they had issues closing out games. Everything that could have went wrong last year, including interference from ownership, everything that could have went wrong last year. So if you at least got the coaching aspect right, keeping the quarterback, I think, could have helped.
A lot of holes.
Yeah, I mean, I see someone asking Justin Fields. I think Pittsburgh keeps him.
I think so too.
What choices do they have? You know, he was 4-2 before they took him out. I don't know what was behind that. You know, he had 5 touchdowns and one interception in that 4-2 run. You know, so I don't know if he just wanted to shake the whole thing up, but
Wait a minute, is this true? Is Tyron an undrafted, unrestricted free agent? Tyron Smith?
I was gonna say, I
Bro.
thought it was a 1-year deal he signed, right?
Bro, what are we doing?
No, I'm looking at the cap. No, he
What
still
the
has it.
hell?
His contract is there. He's still there.
Unless that was just the way they structured it.
Yeah, I mean, but
Because that's what
if
Joe
you-
Douglas does, where they had those like those dead
Right.
cap hits all
Opt-outs.
those years after.
So
for a while. Yeah.
if you cut him now, it's more money now. If you do a post one, it kind of splits in half.
Yeah, it's the void year, I think.
Yeah. So, but you
Yeah.
still
Yeah,
still
I don't think they have to actually cut him though.
You still pick up, you don't pick up the year.
If they didn't cut him, he wouldn't be on the roster.
no. Based on that, he still is. It's just he's still on the. He's got 2.2 dead and 2.2 something.
We got.
I think we need a new cap guy.
We gotta
No, no.
fire this guy.
Go take a look. I'm telling
Now
you.
we got
This
to
is
see
what-
now.
this is
We're gonna
what-
take
this
away
is-
from our stream while we look up and do your job for you. This
Yeah,
is
go look it
ridiculous,
over the
man.
cap.
This is some shit now. Now we gotta look it up. Tyron Smith over the cap. So is he a free agent or not?
No,
I
he's
think it's
still
just a
shown
void
there.
year. Because Douglas did that with a lot of contracts where they had void years at the end of it.
Let's see what this is. 2026. Let's see what the
25.
history evaluation.
There's probably going to
25.
be a number there, but it's not. Doesn't mean that he's on the roster though.
Right. He signed a 2-year, $6.5 million contract with the Jets. All 6.5 was guaranteed. Received the 4.5 signing bonus.
So this is his second year.
Yeah, you're right.
Apology accepted.
I'm not apologizing to you. You should know this is your job.
I told you.
It wasn't really thorough though. So let's see. He signed, well, this one says
Hold on.
this one. He signed a 1-year, $6.5 million contract with the New York Jets, including a 4.5 signing bonus. In it doesn't say anything about this year though. 2025 unrestricted free agent.
I'll take my
based on
apology.
that.
It's a void year.
Still
He signed a
there.
one-year
Still
That's
deal.
what I'm saying. Yeah, he signed a 1-year contract.
It's a void
Doing
year.
the same thing.
So Appam's wrong.
Yes.
It's still counting towards the cap.
Doesn't mean he's under contract though.
Appam's fired. It's a 1-year deal.
Aaron Rodgers is still counting towards the cap.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, but that's why you take a post one.
This is terrible. What are we doing? This is just we try. This is the easy the contract to figure out. The easiest one we can figure out. And this is the one you're making a mistake on.
I'm just talking how the money is set. It's all about the money.
Yeah,
It's
need
the
a
off
contract.
season too.
We got to put an ad out. We definitely got. We got to hire a new guy. This is just
Go ahead.
unacceptable.
Good luck.
You got. See, you know what it is. You know
Good
what
luck.
it is. You know what it is. I know what's wrong with Afram. I figured it out. He is too busy streaming all the time that he has no time
That's
to actually
it.
research the stats.
That's
Every time I
Yeah.
go on YouTube, he's on somebody's stream.
that's
Afterburners. He's always streaming. He has
I'm
no
only on
time to concentrate.
Afterburners and here because I
He
support.
has no time to
Afterburners.
concentrate on looking up the salary cap and studying it and becoming proficient in it. That's the
Yeah.
problem. He's too busy. He's a star now. It's a celebrity. It's just like everybody else. He gets too big, boom, slacks off on responsibilities.
I'm a slacker.
It's definitely an off night. You can see Primetime was first inspired, and now he's disappointed in the numbers you gave him because they were wrong.
I'm very disappointed.
so
I usually
I'm going
look
by what
forward
I get
to
on
these
over the
numbers,
cap. He's
Oh,
still on
man.
there. His number, his salary is still on there. Whether he's on the team or not, the money's there.
Yeah, but so is Rogers. There's a lot of guys that are still
Exactly,
getting
but
paid that aren't gonna be here.
Rogers is also it changes when how you
I could
cut
be
him.
wrong, but I think Kinlaw is in the same boat, right?
No,
Yep.
Kinlaw is a free agent.
Oh, but
He's-
doesn't he have like void money also, or no?
He was a 1 year deal, I think.
He was on yeah.
I thought he had
He's
void money also. though.
he's listed as an unrestricted free agent.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure there were a few guys over the last 3 years that we're still going to be paying for, like right now and this year and possibly even next year. That
No, I
aren't
think you
technically
got 20. What I saw is $22 million in dead money for players this year. 26 right now doesn't have any. That's what I'm reading.
Aaron Rodgers is 35 million, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, bro.
That's part of the contract. I mean, talking about guys that are gone. No, based on that,
It's just
these are guys that still, based on this, I'm just reading.
somehow you've made a very simple conversation very confusing. I think I'm lost. I don't know what's going on anymore.
I'm more confused now than when this conversation
know.
started.
I'm going by this cap calculator. That's all I'm going by.
But what is it? Is the cap calculator like legit? Is it, or is it made by like a
It's
high school
over the
student?
cap. Over the cap.
This show is falling apart for real. This is just this segment. If we can erase a segment, this would definitely be the one right here. Because now all our listeners are all confused. Nobody
We gotta
knows
do our
what
own numbers
freaking,
next
no
week.
one knows what Tyron Smith's contract is. We don't know what our cap space is. Somehow Kinlaw's involved now.
No, Kinlaw is unrestricted free agent.
So is Tyron Smith.
Not based on this.
He's not. He's
Maybe
gone.
he is, but he's gone. But his salary is still pointing to it. His money is still there,
Yeah, it's a void year.
but it still
This is what Joe
counts.
Douglas does, or what he did.
But it still counts, and you can gain the money.
I need
Towards
to
this
check
year,
like,
then what's
everything now.
Go ahead, and you'll
I'll-
come back with what I see. I'm only
I think
showing
I'm
you what
gonna
I
find
see.
more players that
seeing
probably
ghosts
have
right
void
now.
years for next year.
They got Tyron Smith listed. Where is he? He was right here. It's a void year, but he is cap savings. He has dead money of 5.8 million right now.
We're taking a cap hit for Tyron Smith this year.
That's what it's saying.
What?
But if you
Oh, good
if
lord.
you cut him, post
Wait,
one,
wait.
it splits in half. That's what I'm saying.
Question, Afram.
Oh,
Would
that's
you
what it's
consider
saying.
Mike? Would you consider Mike Williams to be on the Jets roster right now?
I don't see him on there.
Okay, because according to over the cap, he's got a $5.8 million hit this year.
Who's
Oh,
that?
Mike
Mike
Williams.
Williams.
Yeah, it's still his contract. We're talking about money.
He's on the Steelers.
We're still talking about his money. It's counting towards our cap. So you have to play around with what you do with the
I am so
with
lost
the money.
right now.
You move around the money until it gets the way you want it. That's all it comes down to, right? Am I right? You're moving around money. That's
Absolutely.
all you're doing.
Right now, Afram has John Franklin Myers on the Jets payroll.
No, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing and what I'm reading. Money is there. Pay might not be there, but the money is still there. You're still paying, right?
I'll have to do a video on this. I'm going to assess the Jets cap space.
You could assess it, but I'm telling you, this is what I'm seeing. Money is still there, whether he's on the team or not.
What are you seeing? I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing confusion.
Keep drinking.
So, prime time, we have to have a show meeting and discuss the future of our salary cap expert because
Okay.
usually they call in and give us answers and not create more confusion and questions for us.
It's got to be like a roles and responsibilities type meeting.
Yeah,
Like, we know
100%.
Bubs can handle the draft. I feel good about that.
Yeah.
He's spot on.
See, who's that? Danger zone in 2025. Smith will carry a.
Fair
But
point.
who else are you going to put in there?
So now he's talking about the post June 1st cuts.
Right. I mean, who else would be the other post June?
We're
You
taking
could
a dead
designate
cap hit
only.
of $3.6 million for Tyron Smith.
That's what I'm telling you. You could only designate two players, right? One is going to be Rodgers.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna have to cut Devontae pre-June 1 because he gives you the most money. You get a little bit more if you do post 1 on Devontae, but you can't use it.
What's
You need
CJ
that
Mosley's
money now.
contract? What can you do with CJ Mosley?
CJ Mosley.
You want to get the most bang for your buck. Like I think he's right.
That's
there.
what I'm
$3
trying to
million.
do. Yeah,
Doesn't sound like it. Rodgers is the obvious one, but that's it. Tyron Smith doesn't seem like it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, right now,
God, Joe Douglas
Mosley
fucked
is dead money is 16 million and a negative 3.6 cap savings. You cut him post 1, you get 4 million back. That's about it. Yeah, but we don't know what they're doing with Mosley either.
I think Mosley could be gone. Even healthy though, he's not like a neck issue, right?
Yeah.
What
Prime
happens
time
is-
is so lost right now. You can see prime time is his head's ready to
That's
explode.
so
Numbers, it's like the Rain Man.
I'm kind of worried what happens if you lose Sherwood. All right, do you still hold on to Mosley?
No,
So you're
They're
gonna
probably
have
gonna
no
go younger.
Yeah, but I mean, you only have one linebacker pretty much.
One
That's-
wide receiver, one linebacker.
Yeah,
Win now team.
one experienced linebacker. You know,
get Chaz Surratt.
semi-experienced.
Are we still paying Greg Salas? Oh my God!
Remember him?
Prime time is more hurt from Afton than the cap than falling on the ice.
I
I agree.
I'm just giving you information here, but that's where we stand.
But I think the
Well,
presentation,
information.
the presentation
I-
information was not.
I'm not going to make. What am I going to do? Make it happy? It's
So you know
hard
what
to
it
make
is?
it happy.
We give Random Man a lot of shit for a lot of things. He comes prepared every week with charts and diagrams, and he's usually pretty accurate. You came with a bunch of just fluff and threw shit against the wall, and something's gonna stick.
Hey.
We don't know what it is.
Did the gentleman show you what the ramifications of his contract is? 3.6.
Yeah,
If
but
you
you
did
didn't do
post
that,
1. Yes, I did.
No, that's not the way you explained it.
Should I have typed it for you?
Man, we like
Would it
diagrams
been
and
better?
signs.
Yeah, I'm not giving you diagrams of science. I'm just telling you what it
He's
is.
too busy, prime time. He's too busy streaming all the time. He doesn't take this job seriously.
You're the one. You had a 12 o'clock show today, and now
And I'm
you're
still
doing
prepared.
this.
I got my numbers right. I know my guys.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
you're
one
off
job
today.
to do. You have one job to do, and you can't
And
do
I've
that
done
one.
it. And I've done it. You didn't like the answers.
Because they weren't clear. They created more.
They were
Our
clear
entire
enough,
chat is
but
lost.
they were
right now.
right.
Nobody knows what's going on right now.
They were right. I'm talking about money. Forget about
Right.
the play. I'm talking about the money.
So okay, here's a very simple question.
No.
How
We've
much
had it.
cap space will the Jets have going into free agency?
If they do those cuts, about 55 mil.
Well, the June 1st cuts won't be applicable until June. So that's
No,
not-
you'll get another. The ones I did, you'll get another 11 million after June. with
So
those
you're saying
cuts.
approximately $55 million going into free agency.
Right now, yeah.
That's not bad.
If they start to renegotiate or restructure some contracts, I don't know how Mogi's going to do it. The Mooch is going to do it, but I don't know how much.
Muji, the Mookster.
The Mooch, and who are they going to go after? Who do they want? Who do they?
I think we go bargain shopping.
Pretty much. The prices have gone tremendously high.
They're not gonna buy any eggs.
That's a fact. Yeah, right. The top player, the top wide receivers, they're going to get big time bucks.
We're not gonna go big game hunting, man. We're gonna be going all mid-tier free agents because you can't really do that.
Yeah.
Again?
So you're
We're gonna do that?
Yeah, because we have no choice.
You have no choice.
We're gonna spend $30 million on one guy. We need a lot of pieces here.
It's the right guy. Absolutely.
Who's the right guy to save this team now? Who's your savior? Who's your free agent savior?
Sam Darnold would be my savior.
Oh, geez.
I would give him a big contract. Absolutely. I'm not saying I think he would accept it. I would give him a big contract. Absolutely.
You clearly have a concussion from your ice slip.
You think by signing? No, but seriously, you think signing him, this team's going to be totally successful, and they can't get nobody else? They pay him a big contract, and then they.
Who is a better young option at quarterback to lead the Jets for the next 5-10 years?
But if you don't have anybody else, what are you going to do?
But you got to start somewhere. You got to solve the quarterback position. That's the number one priority, right?
Not even solving.
You have a young guy that's sitting there as a free agent that you could sign. Again, I don't think he's coming here. Let me be clear about
but
that.
then what do you do?
Zero chance
What do
he's
you
coming
do?
here. But
So
for
how
the
many
Jets
wins do
not
you?
to put the offer out there, I think would be crazy.
How many wins do you get if you just all the money goes to Darnold next year?
Well, it's not going to be all the money. It would be a big contract.
Well, the big chunk.
You got to see what they do in the draft also. If this new regime could actually draft, that helps.
Yeah, but
If Aaron Glenn could actually coach, you're going to get more out of some other guys.
If Sam Darnold could actually play, that would help.
I mean, he just won 14 games, so.
And when that big spot, what did he do? He melted like cheese.
So you'd be upset next year if the Jets won.
He had 2 solid wide
receivers.
receivers. He had a good tight end. He had weapons.
I can't do this to Sam Darnold. It's never happening.
But let's be honest.
If the Jets won, let's just say even 12 games next year with Sam Darnold, 10 games next year with Sam Darnold, and they lose in the playoffs, you're upset?
You have a better chance of winning 10 games with Tyrod Taylor than you do Sam Darnold.
Bullshit. What? Stop.
The minute he comes to MetLife, the ghost. Right back.
I know you don't actually believe that.
I believe it.
We need players.
Sam is not.
You would take Tyrod next year over Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold was good because of Kevin O'Connell.
That is a ridiculous take. That is a ridiculous take.
We'll see.
So what are we saying about the Jets offensive coordinator right now then?
I have a lot of faith in him.
Oh, okay. So then if O'Connell can coach, if O'Connell can coach up Darnold, then why can't?
Well, O'Connell is a proven guy. It's been there for how long? This is our first year with a first-year guy.
Oh, so maybe he should have a veteran quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers.
We don't know.
Tyrod Taylor.
It's too
for a lot cheaper.
It's too early to even talk about. We don't even know what plays we're getting and what they're doing. We don't have a full picture of what we have right now. I think when come March, come April, then we start seeing. In June, we start seeing the picture starts to become more clearer. Right now we're just guessing. This guy could do this. This guy.
I mean, you're guessing. We speak with conviction over here.
Yeah. Okay. You keep.
Yeah, I speak with conviction. I guarantee you, Sam Darnold has blocked the Jets. It will not. The Jets can call. The call won't even go through. I think that's my guarantee.
I don't think he comes.
Most likely true. I'm still making the offer though. The same conversation we had with Vrabel. Was he going to choose the Jets? Probably not. But you still go all in for him, right?
Well, they went after, but
I would never go all in for Sam Darnold. He's not the answer.
Tyrod Taylor is.
Okay, if Sam Darnold is that great, answer, then right now the Minnesota Vikings should be giving him $40 million a year for the next 5 years. $200 million, boom, Sam Darnold done. Are they doing that?
Drafted quarterback in the first round.
No.
You might believe in too.
No. Quarterbacks are the most coveted position in all of the NFL. If you find your guy, you keep your guy. Are the Vikings doing that?
We don't know yet.
No,
they also just drafted somebody in the first round.
Know.
They also
Doesn't matter if you draft
somebody in the first round.
Draft means nothing. If you found your leader and your savior, you keep that guy, and the other guy can send the bench because he was actually still hurt.
But how many conversations have we had on this channel about winning with the rookie quarterback on that rookie contract?
Just build around him. If Darnold is that great, that blossoming son of a player, then Vikings should be just open blank checkbook. Here you go.
Or they could have 4 years with a rookie quarterback not making a lot of money that they feel
and potentially losing the locker room because the win now guy just brought you to the playoffs. This guy just brought you to the playoffs, and now you want him to walk away, and we got to start all over again. Why do that?
They can sign him now, right? They don't have to wait because he's been on the team, so they can sign him now and not give any other team a chance.
Sure.
So why? So now, when the locker,
why wait for him to hit the market?
When the locker room riot, why are you letting our leader, our great quarterback, go?
You might see Jefferson demand a trade. You never know.
Or they just say, you know what, we can win with any quarterback. It's our system.
Who gives him the best chance to win right now?
Adrian Martinez.
Who gives who the best chance to win?
The Vikings. Who gives the Vikings the best chance to win right now?
Oh, Sam Darnold.
Aaron Rodgers.
Really? That's a good one.
I'd rather. I take Aaron Rodgers over Sam Darnold on the Vikings. That's a true win now. Because the Vikings are a true win now team. The Vikings are a true win now team. I'd have more faith in Rodgers than I do Sam Darnold.
Wait, so
the Vikings
are saying Rodgers still has enough to help a win now team?
Because he's surrounded by all-star talent and a great coach.
So just don't have a great coach then?
Nope. No, they're not Kevin O'Connell. The Vikings are literally one player away that you plug him in and that could be a Super Bowl team.
But it's not about that though. It's about
the Vikings. It is. The Vikings are there.
If he's got enough to still help a win now team, why would you not want him as part of?
We're not a win now team. We're rebuilding.
The Jets turning the page on the last 14 years. Why would you not want him to be part of
the Vikings and Jets?
If he can help a win now team, that means that you're acknowledging him as a leader and all these other things. He still has enough left in the tank.
I'm saying he's a win now player.
Why would that not help the Jets in 2025?
Because Rodgers can just show up and just play average football, and they can win a lot of games with him. The Jets aren't that team. They're not one player away. They need a lot of pieces. I wasn't
going down the Rodgers path tonight. You sucked me in. God damn it.
Let's forget about Rodgers. It's over. It's done.
Rodgers to the Vikings. I'm here for it.
Whatever.
I
I
want a
don't
Super
even
Bowl
know.
with him.
I don't even know where he goes. Who knows with that guy?
This is very true. After
know?
always comes on, makes me and Primetime fight, and he sits there in silence by watching the chaos and the
He does.
reflection through his glasses. It's exactly what he does.
Instigator.
Every week he does this nonsense. He starts out by giving a bad take, bad information, and then we fight.
I don't incite. I don't incite.
You give us
I
bad
do not
information, then we
incite.
argue about it.
I didn't give you bad information. You
You gave us
guys,
bad information. Then we had a fight about the bad information.
it wasn't bad because it was proven.
It wasn't accurate.
It was accurate.
It was not even close to accurate.
It was accurate, but you guys didn't accept it the way you didn't want. I didn't phrase it in
Correctly. You didn't phrase it correctly. That's the problem.
I didn't phrase it to the level you guys want to hear it.
Like, thank God we don't have like community notes on here. It'd be like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong.
Definitely
Our whole fucking
fact
chat
checking
would be
everything
over.
after the
That's
show.
it. I'm just talking money. We're talking money.
Thank God nobody
The cap
fact
is
checks
all
this
about
show.
money.
They
Cap
fact check
is all
this show,
about
we'd be
money.
screwed.
Gentlemen,
No.
10 years.
It was like really five or six.
Well, 10 years of
10
doing shows.
That's true.
10
10
years.
10 years too long. We can't do 10 more of this shit. There's no way.
Yes, you can. Yes,
Nope.
you can.
Absolutely not.
You see that beard turn gray a little bit.
Prime time, do you
Mine's
think
turning gray already.
Prime time, do you think 10 years from now, Afro had the cap space right?
No. I mean, think about the way it's gone up over the last 10 years. When we started, what was the salary cap at? Like $140 million or
Yeah.
whatever?
Yeah.
So, like, if we're talking about 500, 600 million and these contracts that are going to be all sorts of crazy, he's not going to be able to keep up with that.
If
No
you
way.
can't keep up with Tyron
Okay.
Smith's easy contract,
No.
can you imagine something like complicated?
Yeah.
We have a
Wasn't
competent
easy.
GM now.
I told you exactly the numbers.
Yeah, you would.
You know that's why the cap was the.
You know what it was?
demise of
He's so
Aaron
used
Glenn,
to-
too. You know
He's
that,
so
right?
used to Joe Douglas's accounting that he rubbed off on him. Joe Douglas rubbed off on Afram, and this is the aftermath. We're all incompetent now. Now we're all just bad at our jobs now.
The $8 million they owed Aaron Glenn forced them to move him to.
This is why we had to fire everybody in the front office because we don't know what the fuck we're doing with our salary cap. We have no idea. And he may be next. You're part.
What can I tell you? What can I tell you? If you can't comprehend, I can't do anything.
You better call Rex Hogan and see what he's doing.
Gentlemen,
Whatever.
contemplate what I told you.
I'm blocking you.
Block me, I don't care.
Have a good night, man.
As long as Dan doesn't block me, I'm fine.
See, exactly. He's the afterburners. See, now what he's going to do, he's going to be a salary cap guy for afterburners.
That's fine. Hey,
That would be a better
Dave-
block than Tyron Smith gave this year.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Sweden's up 2-1, by the way, if you're not watching it.
This show's a disaster. We've had a half hour of misinformation on this show.
Oh, yeah. The information was correct. Why do you say it's misinformation?
Half hour just pure
In
like
the words of Peyton Manning, that's debatable.
it's just there's just nothing accurate on the show right now. We
Oh
have
my
just
God.
it's terrible.
When you understand the cap, then talk to me.
It's your job.
I did. I explained it to you, but you
I
didn't
can do the same thing you
understand.
did. Let me go
You
over the
didn't
cap and read
understand.
it. Well,
And exactly, but you didn't understand it. But when someone else put it down and explained it the way
you're
you,
just
you,
like Joe
you
Douglas,
believed
man.
it.
You talk in
You
circles
believed
and the
it.
results are the same. Poor. This is why we had to fire everybody.
Very
This is
disappointing.
why the Moogster had to come in and bring in Spielman. You needed Spielman for things like this to clean up all this bullshit.
There you go.
I was ready for baseball season. Yeah, you
No,
checked
I'm
out.
not.
You checked
No.
out.
No, I didn't check out. I'm not a big. I'm watching the Sweden USA game. Sweden's up 2-1.
What period?
They're in the second with 14 minutes left.
That was some game the other night with Canada.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the
That was
Whites
fun
were
to watch.
nasty.
Kreider scored for the US.
Hey, were you out for the game? Did you go out for the Canada USA game? Get a little bar fight over that?
No, I was out for singles night, Valentine's Day.
Oh, and that's where the husband came in. That's what it was.
There was no husband. There was no fight.
What do you think, Afram? Afram, that this is something you can get
I
right.
got scratches. I got scratches.
Maybe you got a little fresh with someone and the girl beat the shit out of you.
Yep. He tried a really bad line. She's like, "You said what?"
I would've
she
liked that too
pummeled
much.
you.
So that's it. She smacked him, and then he slipped in the ice when she smacked him.
Slipped on the beer on the floor,
Good
banged his
theory.
head on one of the tables.
That's right.
Okay.
The table is the snow.
And she kicked him in the leg.
Yep. Her girlfriend stepped on his
Off my
ankle.
ankle.
The girlfriend came running over, kicked him in the ankle, stepped on his ankle.
That's it.
This
And he
is
still
bad.
had
How
to
did
pay
this
the butt
evolve
cap.
into me getting jumped by women now?
Because that now we know you went to singles night. That's what it is.
Well, it wasn't
You
singles
let-
night. It was just I was out with
A
people
couple
that were single all
cocktails.
night.
It's a
Ah.
cold night. Mm-hmm.
You know the sidewalks around my area.
Yeah, man. They're all
You've
look
been out here
salted
in
to
the
me. They
winter.
look they're pretty much well maintained.
Was it a public sidewalk?
Yeah.
You got to sue.
You
Sue
gotta
the
sue.
town.
You gotta sue.
They have to maintain
For
it.
what?
100%.
They have to maintain it.
It's not safe. It's not a safe environment. Look what happened to you.
It's true.
It was the ice in front of someone's house on the sidewalk.
No, it wasn't in front of the house.
Where was it in front of?
It's kind of hard to explain. It was like almost like a crosswalk, but then there's like a little piece of land, like very small for like to get to the next crosswalk where there's like a CVS.
So it's part of the street.
You can sue the city.
It's in like the middle
this-
of like a giant triangle kind of.
Did they clear the snow?
The snow was cleared, but there was ice because
Then
like rained.
they didn't salt. If they touch the snow, then they're supposed to ice. They're supposed to salt everything. They've made an attempt to clear it. It's the city's fault.
Yep.
Maybe I
That's
should look
self
into
a
it.
lawyer. Yeah.
Might look into it now.
But see, now the problem is he has no medical receipts because he's doing everything by himself. He's self assessing himself.
What other options do I have?
So they're gonna be like, "Do you have a doctor bill? Yeah, here's my Amazon bill for the boot I bought."
Was there
Like, what was going to a doctor going to do?
and was there any stores around the area?
I mean, the CVS. That's like the closest
Well, you
one.
could check their footage. They might have
See if they
footage
have it.
leading out to the parking lot.
Very possible.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
That
I almost don't even.
that
I almost
is-
don't even want to see it actually. But
well, a good lawyer may want to see it.
That's right.
Yeah, but that information you believe now. You take that information, but the other information I tell you about the cap,
Well, this is more important. Stuff. This is actually believable.
this sounds
The other-
more credible.
Yeah, your cap.
You didn't break anything, did you?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's right. You didn't go to the doctor.
If I did, I don't want to know. So
Well, is it swollen?
it's swelled up pretty bad. Yeah.
How black
I'm
and
able
blue
to
is
walk
it?
in the boot though. Like without the boot, it's painful.
How
With
black
the
and
boot,
blue is
helps
it?
a lot.
Is it
How-
purple?
It's not purple, so I don't think I
Nothing's
broke it
torn
or
then.
anything. I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
I'll be good.
After, have a good night, man. We appreciate it.
You too, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Congratulations again, and everyone, support the cause there. Get yourself a shirt.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Even
Yeah,
though we're
absolutely.
not even though we're not going to get the sleeveless hoodie, but that's okay. That's a different story. But
We'll get sleeveless hoodies if the Jets bring back Sam Darnold.
That's-
you see, he always does that.
You got me
If
excited.
Aaron
for like 2
Rodgers-
seconds, and
If
then
Aaron
you-
Rodgers comes back, we'll get the sleeveless hoodies.
If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Vikings, we'll get sleeveless hoodies.
Tyron Smith
Okay.
is a Jet next year. We'll get sleeveless hoodies.
That's it.
Yeah, the GoFundMe link and the shirt link is in the description of this video. It should be. I made a mistake though, so it's all there.
you made-
Definitely appreciate it.
Hey, I can't believe that.
I mean, not as many as you made tonight. Maybe I made one.
I didn't make any mistakes.
I made a whole bunch of them.
No,
Yeah, it's in
you
the video.
didn't
Yeah, so all the
understand.
information is in the video description. Have a good night, man.
Take care. Be well.
How the hell do we
Good
have?
night.
How do we have viewers still at this point?
I
This
don't
show's
know.
been a show of just we've talked about everything but football.
Exactly.
We bad
Yeah,
cap
that's what the
space.
people wanted tonight.
This Morgan Moses thing doesn't really surprise me. I think maybe if you're in the last year of his career, he may want to go to a winning team, see if he can make a run somewhere else, tie somewhere else. And for the Jets, maybe you want to get younger, get a young guy you can put with the other guys and play as a unit for the next 2, 3, 4 years. It's not the worst. I mean, that doesn't bother me.
I mean, the offensive line's already pretty young. I wouldn't mind having, a veteran anchor there to kind of lead the way, but just one less hole you got to fill.
It's not like AVT's. He's been around a little bit.
He's
Simpson's
been
a
hurt all the time, though.
Didn't get hurt last year. He played for the most part last year. He's making a lot of money, but yeah.
I just kind of like the idea of having like all 5 guys come back if it was possible, but I understand why he wouldn't want to come back and go to a winner. You're just throwing everybody at it.
Out with the old. What's up? This poor guy's like, I had to watch Afram talk shit for the last 20 minutes. It was terrible.
Actually, you know what? Listening to him, I'm glad I never got involved. My son was really, really good with salary cap. He could figure this crap out. I could never. It's bizarre. It's like the old joke. You want like a one-armed accountant.
Yeah.
You don't want on the one hand, but the other hand. That's what the salary cap's like. It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's insane. And there's all kinds of wrinkles to it and how you get around it. And there's more loopholes. It's not straightforward. So Afram's not really lying. I mean, they do have things like dead money, even if the guy's finished a contract, because they do spread money down. They spread it down in future years. They do all kinds of crap with that, even or things like you cut somebody, but if you got signing bonuses, it gets spread out. I mean, Rodgers is going to have money going into 28 or 29, I believe, even now. I believe it's not just the 49, but that's for the next 2 years. I think there's more than that, if I remember correctly. So it's like, you get kind of screwed with that. If they retire, it's even more bizarre. With this issue with the quarterback, I mean, it's interesting. I'm not going to beat Rodgers is done. I mean, I just forget it. Could he have done better than anybody out there? Possibly. I just don't think he's worth it for a lot of reasons. I'll leave it at that. I think the biggest thing with the quarterback, I'm sitting here thinking about this and listening to all these names being thrown around. And of course, there's 20 million people out there, the usual pile, because there's only 32 quarterbacks. There's 10 zillion guys that want to be quarterback. It's really going to depend on we don't even know what's this guy's offensive strategy. Like, I know nothing about him. We can look at Ben Johnson, but Ben Johnson had a mature team there. He had Jared Goff. He had, great running backs. So what is his game plan going to be? Is he going to do a run first game manager offense? Is he going to try to throw the ball? What is he going to do? Because that's going to inform which quarterback you go for. If he's going to try to go for a passing game, which I doubt, then he might go for somebody like Winston, even though with all the interceptions and stuff.
But it seems like a run game is it's like great defense, great running game, game manager. That's the best way you can win games this year. And then as you get the quarterback you want, you can have your offense evolve.
But it's going to revolve around that. I mean, possibly we could go with Tyrod Taylor, who we've got the money. It's already there.
Yep.
And even if we cut him, we're going to still take a hit and stuff. And you need an experienced backup there anyhow. You need somebody there. So you're not going to want to go around with no backup again, even if you get somebody else to start. He might be good. Hopefully he could last more than 6 or 7 games. Hopefully with a new scheme, he's not throwing himself out there and getting hurt, because that was part of his problem. He was running the ball and getting hurt. They can do something about that. So he's not a bad option. Looking at anybody out there, I don't see, you're not going to get anybody really, really good. Fields, I think, is going to be a problem, because I think somebody else, even as a backup, is going to be willing to pay him a lot more. You're not going to get him for little. You're going to get him. He's probably 11, 12, I'm guessing. I'm no expert.
How much Derek Carr going to get if he becomes released?
Well, that's the question. I don't know if he'll get that much. The guy already, he's now got a reputation. I don't know if you're going to get him. You're not going to get him for the league minimum. But the other thing is the Jets could get him on an incentive-laden contract that doesn't have much cap hit on it. They're not going to have to give him a huge signing bonus and stuff. And they're not going to be signing him for 5 years.
But how much drop off is there from Derek Carr to Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins would be cheap as hell.
I think the problem with Kirk Cousins, here's a couple of things. If you're talking about the Kirk Cousins a couple of years ago, Cousins was a decent enough quarterback. He was a poison. I always thought he was a poison quarterback.
Didn't he throw for 500 yards last year? Didn't he throw for 500 yards in a game last year?
I think so.
I don't know.
I'm sure he had a 500-yard game last year.
Pretty sure.
There's a reason why Atlanta benched him. I mean,
he was hurt.
But he got the Achilles injury was last year, wasn't it? Or was this year the Achilles? When did he get his? Last year, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so he got hurt and stuff like that, which is going to be a problem. Coming off an Achilles is always problematic. You don't know how far back he's going to come. If he's healthy, Cousins, and if you can get him on a league minimum, he can be halfway decent in a kind of offense you're talking about. And he'd be willing to do it. He's not going to try to throw the ball vertically all the time if you tell him not to. He'd be willing to listen to it. I think Carr has a little bit more of an upside than Cousins. I think he's in a little better shape. Is he a world's greatest quarterback? No. But I think in a system that's run dominant. Okay, thanks, Afram. I wasn't really paying. I didn't see that much with that. So the guy Cousins still got something in the can. I just think that being injured and being whatever, if you can get him cheap, he'd be a value. If you can't get him cheap and you can get Carr for decent money, I'd probably rather have Carr. Neither one of them's that great. But in a run first, and then if you can get Carr can run things like short passing, RPO, doing things like that. He can do that. They can try to make take the defense honest, so it's not just a straight ground and pound. I think with our offensive line is going to be okay. The offensive line was starting to look good by the end of the year. As long as the offensive line coach is not Keith Carter, it'll be okay. And I think, honestly, we could do a team. I don't think we're going to the playoffs. I mean, I didn't think it even if Rodgers stayed there. My guess was 7 to 8 games maximum. It's interesting. It was against the Bucs, which is a good defense. Either one of them would be good. Looking at the other, and I think with the right offense, and this is where this guy's offense comes in. I don't know what he's going to be doing, but you know what? At least it'll be halfway interesting. We know I've written this off as being to be a playoff year. It would be a miracle. We could do 9 games and get into a wild card. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, just to recap, he tore his Achilles in 2023.
He was still rehabbing a little bit.
Right, and last year was the shoulder he hurt. That's why they said, like, people were saying he had a diminished arm strength. He said his arm strength is fine. His shoulder was bad. That's why he couldn't throw the ball.
How old's Cousins? Like 33, 34?
He's like 36, isn't he? Yeah.
So he's a little older. I mean, if he can recuperate, Cousins may not be bad. And if you can get him on a league minimum with him and Tyrod, you can have a kind of whatever competition in there or see who you want to start. You've got him there. If Cousins gets hurt, Tyrod could come in. I would consider him pretty much equal. In terms of what they are, the same age, same.
I think I prefer Cousins over Carr, honestly.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, if he's cheap,
My next video.
Again, I think Carr. It depends on how Cousins recovers from his injury. I don't know what his shoulder injury was. If it's something, that he can recuperate from, if it's not like a major wipeout of his rotator cuff or something, then or you need like some other kind of crazy surgery. I haven't heard. So if he doesn't, he could come back. The Achilles will be better. And he's an experienced quarterback. Again, you know what you're going to get out of him. He can play a decent game. He could win. You know what? He could take us to 9 wins if he's healthy. And I think it's really going to come down to what game plan does the offensive coordinator come up with. It's going to have to be tailored somewhat to him. But Cousins is not a exotic quarterback.
Mm-mm.
He's he's a pocket passer. He's not going to be mobile. He's not a running quarterback. He's a relatively generic quarterback.
If you want a running quarterback, you have Tyrod.
But the thing is, you don't need it. I mean, that's the thing. You don't necessarily need a running quarterback for what they're trying to do this year. What they do in the future, if they try to go for a mobile quarterback who can throw, that's a different story. But the offensive coordinator needs to get the scheme down. Hopefully, he can tailor it to what Cousins is. Interestingly enough, this guy's been around, Engelbart, whatever his name is, has been around Goff. Goff's a pocket passer. So now they're not the same people. Goff is a much better quarterback than Cousins ever was, in my opinion. But the point is, he can tailor to it. He doesn't have to make it totally. It wouldn't be like an Aaron Rodgers where you're doing everything according to the way he wants it, but he can tailor it. If you make it run first, you're not putting as much on the quarterback. Because honestly, Kirk Cousins is not a quarterback. He's not an elevating quarterback. You're not going to put the game on him, and you're going to win 12, 13 games because he transcends the team. And
I think the goal of this year isn't maybe to install your offense, establish your program, get everybody, and try to identify what you actually have in terms of playmakers and talent, and try to maximize their potential. And say, okay, listen, now we know we have Garrett Wilson. Now we know we have Malachi Corley. We know how these running backs function in this, and then you add pieces next year to make it a better system. I don't think you're saying.
They're going to be filling in. They're going to do things like obviously Aaron Glenn's going to try to rebuild the defense. Or I'm not rebuild it, but you know what I mean. There's pieces there we know we have got problems with. They're going to have to replace Reed probably. They're going to have to get probably safeties. They need defensive linemen. They need depth. They'll cut Clemens hopefully. I mean, there's a number of pieces. So if they can get the defense halfway decent, that's going to be part of it. They're going to want to stabilize the defense. It may not be perfect, but they want to stabilize it. You're going to have a decent enough offense where you have a chance to win games. The thing that I think is, do you have a chance to win games? You may not win 10 games.
But the offense could be a huge question mark if you only have one receiver and no tight ends.
Well, that's going to be here comes the question right now. The Jets have not been big on using the tight end. So, everybody in this, because of the age of Gronkowski and stuff, everybody thinks tight ends are everything, or kill any of these guys, right? But the point is the Jets have never used them. Can you have an effective offense without good tight ends? Yeah, you can. It's much better with them.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you have only one legitimate wide receiver, the way to offset not having wide receiver depth is having a quality tight end.
That's true, and you could draft that at 7. I wouldn't object to drafting a tight end at 7 if that's the game plan. The biggest thing here is I don't want to see what I don't want to see is either drafting the best player at the number and period, or doing something stupid like drafting a quarterback at 7, because in this draft, it's not worth it. There's
But
nobody
I
there.
don't think they're going to go quarterback, but what position? Like, I can make a case for a lot of positions at 7.
You could, but and again, that's what comes down to what the offense is thinking. They might have, for all you know, they have wide receivers targeted. This is one of the problems. We're operating in total ignorance. I don't know what their scheme is. I don't know what their plan is. So if he's coming in, they might know of wide receivers that they can get relatively cheaply or via a trade even, that they can get that would fit his scheme, right? So tight end at 7 might not make sense if they think they can get wide receivers. I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying do it. Right. I wouldn't object to a tight end at 7. It would definitely help the offense because we don't have anybody. They're going to let Conklin go. The rest of them are garbage.
Yep.
And there's nothing there. They could go with a defensive lineman. They could go with a number of things. They could go with a corner if they needed. I don't want it because you hear Jets fans screaming bloody murder. It's a replay of the past. But if you've got, if you need a corner, if you feel like Reed gone, you need it, then they'll go that way.
Oh,
there's a lot of holes. And
I'll tell you what, I will tell you right now. If they take a corner at 7, I'm going to be pissed.
I would be too. I think honestly, I don't have a problem with tight end. I don't have a problem with the defensive lineman. I know some people will. I don't have a problem. They've got holes at linebacker. Sherwood's probably gone. They'll probably give him too much money, and the Jets aren't going to match it, although we don't know. There's pieces there.
So Sherwood's gone. Mosley's gone. Now you need linebackers.
See,
you need 2 linebackers, 2 safeties, defensive tackle.
This was not. That's
we're a win-now team, though. Don't worry. Don't forget. That was the other. Rodgers can overcome all of that.
Well, that's the other half with the whole thing with keeping Rodgers, was that they're treating it like the team was the same team as last year or 2 years ago. Now, I had my doubts about the team 2 years ago, but I'm going to leave that at. I'm not entirely certain how good that defense was, given who they were playing and a lot of factors. But let's say they were. It's not the same team.
Nope.
And that's the thing. We got a lot of holes. So we might have a defense that has holes in it because they can't fill positions and stuff like that. And as a result, it may not be that good anyhow. We might have the same problem we had last year, where the defense is giving up a lot of points, and we just don't have a high-powered enough offense. I don't think Rodgers is going to be part of an offense putting up 30, 35 points a game. And if you have a defense that's giving up a lot of points, you're not going to win. So that's one of the reasons I would have been okay if Rodgers stayed. It's one of the reasons I'm not with him going. I don't think he has enough gas in the tank to take them where they can do a Tom Brady. The one year where New England had a shitty defense and Brady was putting up 35 points a game. He's not in that place. And it's not his, just age. But again, it comes down to, someone just said it, coaching players. I want to see, and this is where I can't even say, I want to see what this coaching staff, what their plan is. What's their vision? What are they trying to do?
Not even that. You want to see what their free agency plan is. That's in friggin' a month from now.
That's
going to tell us a lot. But how they approach free agency? 100%.
It's going to be a big thing. And I don't think we're going to be making big splashy moves. I don't think we have the money unless they've got a really good salary cap guy in there. I don't know enough about it.
Definitely got after
but it's not. We're not going to be. We're not going to be doing that. And I think realistically, I'm hopeful because you know what? If you've got the right coaching staff with the right plan, which we didn't have, and we haven't had for a long time, they can do a lot. They can do a lot to put in pieces. They can get players playing well above their level. How many good coaches? You know what? Take a look at what people yell about Belichick, right? And I know people hate him, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it was all Tom Brady. Horseshit. Brady himself just said recently, I'm really surprised that Belichick hasn't gotten a job in the NFL. Belichick, if you look at him, his drafts were never that great, right? His free agencies, they never really had the superstars on the team. They had Randy Moss at one point, but they didn't really have the superstars, and yet they won because he got them playing at level.
It was also their systems, though. It was their system they implemented. It was like they.
Well, that's the thing, but you know what? That's the coaching. That's a system. It's a system.
See, prime time, it's a system.
Yeah,
and to a certain extent, I'll give him credit for that. Nothing else with Salah with his defense. I wasn't particularly fond of his rotation system and stuff, but he kind of did that. He had some players playing at a higher level. Huff was playing at a higher level than he did at Philadelphia. Yeah, Huff at Philadelphia didn't play that well. He did on the Jets. He got other players playing because of his scheme and because they had limited snaps. He wasn't putting it all on one player. That's a system. Unfortunately, he didn't have it anywhere else. Nope. But you have that. You can take a team that's relatively, I'm going to use the term mediocre, middle of the road, and go pretty high with it. It's
Well, yeah,
another
'cause
method.
you play fundamentally sound football. You play smart, disciplined football, run it, good
Don't
defense,
kill
good
yourself.
special teams. Yeah, exactly. And then when you start
And if
getting
you're
to
able-
playmakers, you go to a higher level.
And we've still got 2 damn good running backs. I'm leaving the other guy out of it because I don't know how
Come
good he
on,
is.
man. How do you leave out? That's crazy.
What?
McCaffrey
Davis?
Jr.? What? Isaiah Davis?
He might be halfway decent. I don't know.
He looked great
know,
last year. The speed, the explosiveness,
Limited sample, but it was impressive.
versatile.
Boys, they should have him doing kick returns. What the hell he wasn't doing kick returns and
How
they had
can we
Gibson doing? I don't know.
discount the guy, the most explosive guy on offense?
The point
Braylon
is,
Allen's the bowling ball. You get the speedster behind him. Brees is expendable then.
I don't think so.
He might
think
want
the
out
point
anyway.
is, if the offensive line is going to have another year, they're going to be solid. Hopefully, with a decent coaching, that they'll be good. We'll be able to run the ball. You play ball control. You keep the clock. You keep the clock under management. You keep the other team off the field. You could beat teams like Buffalo doing that. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. The Jets' schedule is not easy next year. I count 4 games on there that I would consider.
How can we
trap
even do?
teams.
How can we even do the schedule? We don't even know who's on a fucking team yet. We didn't do the draft and free agency yet.
I'm just looking at the teams. I was looking at the teams that they're playing next year, right? And looking at it, you can't count on New England's going to be much better than they were. Every team we're going to be facing, there's a lot of good to tough teams. You can win against them, but you have to have a scheme to do it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to blast through them. You're not going to go into a shootout.
Well, yeah, but it's hard to assess anything when we don't know what our coaching staff or our quarterback is.
Well, that's the point. I'm just saying, I'm all talking hypotheticals. That's why I'm saying, even with the quarterbacks, you know what the biggest thing is going to be? If you told me what his scheme was, if you came and told me and said, look, he's planning to do a lot of running, he's going to run first. They're going to do a lot of throwing to the backs. They're going to do a lot of maybe, pre-snap motions and things like that. Then I could turn around and sit there and tell you, okay, based on the quarterbacks I see out there, a guy like Cousins may not be bad because he can handle that. He can handle that kind of offense. We're not going vertical. If you told me he's going to be a vertical game and throwing 50 yards downfield, I don't think anybody out there I would give
Tyrod
this.
can do that.
He can, but he's older, man. Come on.
Prime
He's
time.
still
You guys got to stop discounting my guy Tyrod.
I like no, wait a minute. I like Tyrod a
Prime
lot.
time hates him.
He's a
He's a
great
good backup.
He's also he's a great guy.
We're not
in the
going
locker
into
room.
2025 with him starting the season. I think that would be a terrible idea.
Why?
I don't think necessarily
other
it's a
options
bad
around?
idea. He knows the team.
You think he's the
even though
best
you
option?
can't- He doesn't know the system because it's a new system. He's been around a long time. He's got the locker room likes him. There's a lot of pieces there. And the guy's got a lot to him. I think his only problem with him is they got to teach him to slide and to keep him from getting injured. He does some stupid things. That's the one problem with him. That's why
He played last year.
How many snaps?
Did he play? This comment says,
How many
when has
snaps?
Tyrod? What does the
How many
comment say,
snaps?
Bronson? What does
How
the
many
comment
snaps?
He
say?
played for the
How many
Giants
snaps?
2 years ago.
What did the comment say?
How many
When has
snaps?
Tyrod played last? Last year
How
with
many
this
snaps?
team.
But he had
We have
one
to, like,
snap.
search how many snaps he played
He was
last year.
grossly underutilized last year
Look,
because they were
he had
scared to
one
bench
snap.
Aaron Rodgers.
He had one step. He played 2 years ago for the Giants, and he actually played fairly
played
decently.
well.
And he
Threw
got
for
hurt.
119 yards last year.
Probably more than Rodgers to have.
He did have
The point is,
128
he
quarterback
could
rating.
do it with the right.
See?
Tyrod could run that kind of offense. He's also knows the players. He's been on the team. It's a big
Respected guy.
difference. I like him as a quarterback. I always did.
Wait, Primetime, do you want to know a fun stat or a fun fact?
I'll give you one right after, but go ahead.
No. Tyrod Taylor,
Mhm.
the backup quarterback of the New York Jets, got captain votes last year. What does that tell you about that locker room? How much they respect them? Just saying.
This piece is to it.
You
And
want to know
the
the
thing is,
last year that he threw for more than 3,000 yards?
Who cares? Doesn't matter.
2016.
Live in the past, stay in the past.
he's been a backup. How many years was it before Geno Smith threw for anything significant? Because he was playing as a backup for years.
That's right.
It happened. I mean,
Geno
I'm not
was
saying
young though when he got his next
He
chance.
wasn't being asked. He wasn't being asked
Who?
to do that.
Not after the Giants.
whatchamacallit, Geno wasn't that young. He was over 30 when
Seahawks?
he finally got his chance in Seattle. He was over 30. He was
Still in
like
his
28,
prime.
30,
Still in your
31.
prime as a quarterback. You'd still play for another 10 years at that point.
Yeah, but it took him 10 years. I'm not saying Tyrod Taylor is not a quarterback that's going to take you to the Super Bowl.
You
He's
never
not
know.
a long-term solution.
You never know.
Weirder
got a chance.
things have happened. Weirder things have happened. Miami went undefeated with a backup quarter. Nearly in their undefeated season, a lot of those games were started by a backup quarterback. A journeyman.
The
backup
Jets went on a
quarterback.
run with Vinny Testaverde. You never know.
Vinny was probably one of the more unheralded quarterbacks around, but that's besides the point.
He had a
was
great arm.
Just kept, you got to hurt.
Just needed the right coaching and a good team. That's all he needed.
Yeah, and you put it together. Look, we can do well next year. Like I said, I can't see. I don't know. Playing at one lung. Oh, wow. The point is, I think you could do okay with Tyrod. You could do okay with one of the other quarterbacks. It's all going to depend on the coaching and staff. And you know what? It's going to anyhow. And that was my other argument against keeping Rodgers was it's coming in again with him with a new staff. And it's something that he hasn't faced often. It's something that and basically he didn't with the Jets because they basically brought lock, stock, and barrel what he wanted. So it's a little different. And if he had had a new staff, I don't know how well it would have worked. Even leaving out whatever Rodgers is like, and I have a story about.
I mean, the whole thing, the Rodgers thing doesn't even matter at this point. I mean, they moved on.
I'm just using it as an example. What I'm trying to say is that if the coaching staff can fit it to whatever quarterback is out there, and they're going to make a decision based on that. They're not just going to say, I can get this guy for $1 million or $2 million. They're going to come in and say, yeah, I think this guy can fit our scheme. I think he's a lot better than he seems. He's been cut, so he doesn't need salary. We're going to pay him league minimum, or maybe pay him league minimum guaranteed with some incentives, which is fine. Incentives are fine because it doesn't cost you anything in the cap. Make it all incentive and come in there. And if they feel it can fit the system and the guy is good. Now, it's a lot of questions. We got so many question marks.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we all just speculate and try to figure out. But we got to run, dude. It's almost 10 o'clock.
Take care, guys. I'm sorry. I let it run long.
Have a good night, man. I'm like, holy shit, it's almost 10 o'clock. Tyrod is like that. You know what's funny? The next guy I got a problem with now.
Me too.
I got a problem with Jose. So we'll let him come on. We got problems with you.
I got big problems with Jose right now.
All right, you go first.
Well, I spent several weeks planning my next rap, assuming we were going to have, a Super Bowl rap battle again, like we've done in the past.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard from him in over a month, so I never got to do my performance.
But he's been on other streams and other channels.
I've been on one. Just one.
Wow. You were on Afterburners on Thursday.
I said just one. And
this is the disappointing thing. Afram disappointed us, and now Jose's disappointed us. This is what we get.
And that's because you were there.
Don't even try to butter me up, man. I know how you work.
So where you been?
Good.
Let's hear these bullshit stories.
Oh, I've just been.
Let me guess, Puerto Rico?
No.
You did a Super Bowl stream, didn't invite us. That's fine.
So you did your own Super Bowl stream. We could have did the rap battle on there.
Stream. Yep.
Oh,
and he's also done streams the same time as us too. But let's not get into that.
Hold on.
Oh yeah.
No, hold on.
No, hold on. Hold on. What?
You guys did a Super Bowl stream?
No, not that. But you did other streams the same time as us. I noticed. You look at the smile on his face. What in the hell? What is going on around here?
No, I did it during the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
When else have I?
Mm-hmm.
When else have I done it?
If you have to think about it, just come on, man. It's all right.
No,
you've betrayed us. Afram just
no.
It's just this is the way it works.
No, I do all.
Everybody takes advantage of us, kicks us when we're down. It's fine.
No,
it's fine. I'm used to it.
I did all day football all season. This year.
Look now you see how he calmed down now? He's like, oh damn, they caught me. They realized that I do things like that.
No.
It's fine.
You're forgiven, Jose. I can't forgive.
I don't forgive nobody. I never forget.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't. Nope. I don't forgive. I have a heart of steel.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you don't.
Yep.
What's up?
I know what really.
And all we do is promote his channel, bring out all kinds of positivity and support for your channel, root for your Seahawks when we don't even want to, and this is the return we get. No more support for your Seahawks. Now they can lose every game. I don't care anymore. I was gonna buy you a nice Seahawks jersey. That's not gonna happen anymore.
What's up?
Will you let me say my joke?
No.
Stop interrupting. Let him talk. What's up, Jose?
I know what really happened to your face. To quote the movie Rounders with Matt Damon.
I've never seen
Damon.
it.
Holy cow.
She closed her lap her legs too soon. That's what happened.
God damn, bro.
Jesus Christ. What happens?
All right, you should have kept interrupting.
Yeah, see, this is. I try to avoid these things, and this is what happens.
Hey, it's a movie quote. It's a movie quote.
That is
A
true.
movie quote, right? I'm guessing he probably uses these same movie quotes on his streams when he's competing against us.
Most likely.
No, I don't.
There goes all our viewers. Right the window.
Hey,
Are you proud of yourself?
I even put it in the chat earlier.
So the chat wasn't enough, so you had to call in and say it again to make sure your joke got through.
Yes.
Look what we're doing. So now you've ignored us for a month while you talk to everybody else.
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I've just like Romeo. I've been watching Raw on Netflix for the last month.
So you're blowing us off for Raw on Netflix. This
Yeah.
is great. This is
Blowing us off for Cody Rhodes.
this is where our channel's evolved. We're getting blown up by everybody now.
Hey, I'm just being honest.
We appreciate your honesty.
Do you want me to?
We have to have a staff meeting
Yeah.
sometime.
I think we do. Yeah.
We got to reevaluate our salary cap guy. Our closer has to be reevaluated clearly because he's screwing up now.
Jason, I would like for you to come on my channel
Absolutely not.
and talk about
No.
what you're doing for your
Oh, my fundraiser, I can do that.
yes. And,
I charge for that now, $100 a minute.
okay.
But for you, because you're a good friend of mine, I'll give you a discount, $99.
Deal. Love you guys.
Have a good night, man. Good to see you. I'm glad that it was good to see you on Thursday, but it's good to see you tonight too. You know what I mean?
Congrats on 10 years.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you, Jose.
Have a good night.
appreciate it, man.
Good night.
Have a good night. Good to
This
hear
one,
from him
man.
again.
This
So
show
glad we
was
got to hear from him. We haven't heard from Jose in a while.
He came on Thursday, and I was like, "What the hell? Where the hell have you been?" He's like, "I've been around." I'm like, "Yeah, doing shows against us."
That's fine.
These streamers, man, they're just this way it works. So thank you
I
guys
don't
for joining us. This show, I don't know how it went 2 hours. We didn't talk about anything. Hopefully next week we will have something more to talk about in terms of just free agency and how things are going to play out. I'm sure a lot more rumors as the combine comes. There'll be all kinds of rumors, which will be exciting. And that's it. Any final thoughts on your adventure, Primetime?
On my venture?
Your adventure, this ice adventure.
No, just I'm grateful that it wasn't worse. I'm grateful that, even with all the injuries, that it could have been a lot worse. So, and thank you to everyone that reached out. I'm good. So,
Will you sue the city?
no.
It's a cutthroat world, man. It's all about making money.
I'm not that guy.
So this the next question is: Will the ice will be Primetime versus the ice round 2 next week? That's the question.
I hope
Could be
not.
tomorrow. 'Cause we'll get snow on Thursday, right? Wednesday or
That's
Thursday.
what I'm worried about, because I still have to walk to the train station. Like I told you before, I'm not paying for Ubers every day. So
You got to steal that thing from ShopRite, man.
yeah, I'm not looking forward to tomorrow, but
Steal the
I
scooter.
think I can make it work.
Kevin.
Just got to get through this week, and I think I'll be a little better. So
Thank you guys for joining us. All the fundraiser information is in the description. We will talk to you next Monday. Have a good night.
later, guys.